well. So it's not the same team we've seen when it was the first time they played against each other. They've adapted, they've improved as well throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, chat, let's see this.
Like a strange band, maybe you somehow.
Calm down. Let's see this. We gotta watch this.
Shroud X did have that conversation with Phil, and Dongman said much more comfortable on the strange than anything, but we'll be able to pull out that Magneto by today.
Okay,
but
let's see.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Techie against Shroud X, chat. I know that Dongman has been popping the fuck off. He was disgusting on Doctor Strange lately. Vision as well. Doomed is crazy.
Looking pretty standard indeed.
Shroud X does have a good team. The last time they played, it was great. It was great. Techie, on the other hand, Tap has been crazy, and the ad guy, the AD, that guy's been insane.
So actually kind of, you know, very similar playstyle wise. I think Shroud X can play that triple res composition, although I think as a unit, I don't know how good they are on triple res. I think that they
Jay,
have, like,
can you pause the stream? I gotta use the bathroom. Yeah, bro, just piss yourself.
You know, a really good
who's gonna know?
Like I said, in Doomed, I feel like he's one of the best stalwarts in the game. But you know, around the triple res composition, it's not just about the stalwart; it's about the whole team. So we'll see what they want to do. They protected Wolverine though, understanding how strong that hero is, like we've seen lately, right, Shib?
Yeah, Wolverine is a menace, especially against the Vanguards. Obviously, we talk about it all the time. It does essentially take the Vanguards out of the play. If you don't have that invis or some sort of protection with a Loki crystal or something to negate that tackle, you're always on your heels and you're always saving cooldowns, and changing your style to play like that is so much value, and you always got to have eyes over your shoulder. It's terrifying to go against, especially at this level of play, and we just saw last map Cal with 20 final hits there, playing a ton of Wolverine.
So yeah, we're going on to Hell's Heaven. We're going to Domination. Captain America removed. Emma Frost removed. Focus more towards those Vanguards. Opposite side, we have Emma.
Okay, I feel like they're going a more casual, more early. You know, not early, but
so we do have triple
easy bans, chat. The only weird ban that I see is Captain America. I forgot who played Captain America.
But you know, usually I think triple shredders with Adam Warlock on Hell's Heaven isn't necessarily the best map for it. Usually, I feel like that we're seeing a lot of. Especially
I am actually very excited about both teams running Wolverine, and both teams are running their own version of the throws. So one team looked like they were playing Hulk, one team was playing
Black Panther player besides like Amazing and stuff, but
fuck the Rock guy.
Viable option here.
Thing did pop off on Clintar there in that first map. Yeah. It was awesome to watch. Haven't seen it since, but you're right. Definitely a strong Black Panther that is now out.
Also, I just want to say, I'm sorry, my brain is a little slow today. We watched the tournament yesterday for 15 or 16 hours. I only had 5 hours of sleep. I don't know how I'm awake in an 11-hour stream, but we're doing it. But we're doing it. Let's see this.
You know, I want to see what's played, right? I feel like that Namor stuff can be thrown out for Shroud X. I think that's actually, in my opinion, the best thing in this meta, right? We'll see how.
I think I do. I think I do like Shroud X's team comp a little bit better.
That might impact Techie in the performance. Regardless, I do feel like on Domination we've seen so much good Namor play. It feels like it always wins.
I don't like the cloak and dagger though. I like the Luna for the other team.
Want to win map number 1, because if they don't, that's a bad precipice moving forward, as both these teams, if they lose this series, they are done out of the Ignite series.
Dongman already on point, and with the team.
What is Avery? What is that face cam? What's going on?
That fastball special ready to be used if need be. The tackle out just to buy some time. I don't believe the passive was popped just yet, as the space is owned here by Techie around this natural cover, and the point is not quite moving just yet. Doomed with the throw. Try to find something, but no. This is a decent map for Wolverine just due to the off angle. You can actually find an off map here if you tackle from the right side, which is very threatening, and we might see it right now. No. Not able to do so. His vision, great focus there. Down goes Avery, and we talk about the success of Namor into these heroes that play aggressively and try to find early picks.
A challenge for any of you guys who've never watched a hero shooter before. By the way, now coming into the side, we'll talk about it later. Incoming aggressive play by Nook as well to keep the team sustained against odd with the copy. But
okay, he used his ult before they got Maggled. That's good.
The whale goes out. Infidel and Doomed. 2. Dongman on the Blur. 3. Dongman again on to Avery. Allowed that Doctor Strange, and their whole team goes down. A Shroud X up with 3% and counting.
Definitely back to the original topic, like we've seen in terms of these first fights, right, in the entire map, you can see who's doing the most damage. If you're not looking at just stats, in terms of old charge built, if this is your first time watching a hero shooter, Vision's building a very, very fast ultimate, Tap also doing the same thing. But I feel like the constant presence of this Namor is really annoying.
Bro, I don't understand what this guy's face cam is pointing at, bro. Someone said, is this guy's face cam in his pants, bro?
So much damage, building so many whales. It is farming up TEKIXD Stratus ultimates, but it's hard for Avery or Tap to purchase any sort of space.
Yeah, I really like the composition here from Shroud X to help against that Wolverine. You do have that invis, which is not matched on the other side. And here goes the tackle. Eye Agamotto out from Dongmin, finds a few, but no.
Oh, what a block by Dongmin. Yo, Dongmin has a really good Doctor Strange.
Building up to that ultimate at 61. Doom trying to get a second pick here. Dropping back there into the invisible battle. The entire team's falling as Doom takes out Brute. Make that 3. Impunity cleaning up Waffles here.
Bro, look, watching these Wolverine players make me really want to. I need to learn Wolverine, man. I need to.
I don't want to make any for sure statements.
Oh, and that's a good spot to be in. Wow, I've actually never seen someone go up there.
Is he looking through the wall there? Did you see that on the... okay, we might have to look at that later. That's insane. If that's a spot on Wolverine to look through on that box, that's interesting. Regardless, I do think that this Namor Hulk stuff feels like it's the meta on domination, even with Human Torch being available at times. It's not in this.
Bro, I haven't learned Wolverine yet because I haven't been playing, dude. I've been watching the tournament.
Finds some value in the back line. Misses the tackle there. Does have this last stand ready.
No, we need more Wolverines, man.
Directly in the back line. That's how the combination works. And that's a setup ult here from Blur with the clobbering, but there's too much healing out right now. The whale does land on a bunch, but it's not enough to get the pick. Psyche lied. Waffles goes down.
Nice shot.
Wow, Shroud X really feels comfortable in this composition. This comp together is so fluid. All the ults go out for Techie. Not a lot of value, but as I say that, Blur gonna take
oh no. Wait, that wasn't his Invisible Man.
I feel like these days it's tough to really say like a comp gap and stuff. By the way, as a potential touch comes through, Ad just wants to give it up. They want to go to the next round. But I think this is the first time I feel confident in saying that is a comp gap. I don't know. Like, it just felt like the Namor was so oppressive. The Hulk, I mean, the Hulk is always looking for Tap. Impunity's entire job was to hunt down Tap, make sure that he was not comfortable. And then on the front line, anchoring was Dongmin. And then...
Oh, no, chat. Techi's not looking good, bro. Techi got 1 kill in that whole round, bro. He got 1 kill in that whole round.
As it gets, right, Shib?
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, that was so fluid. Like I said, I think their comp is just insane. I think it's so difficult to go against. They have that invis to counter and help with the Wolf, which, yeah, you see over Blur on the, you know, he's playing the thing here for the reason.
That's fucking tough, bro. That is tough.
Right now, the ace, it's just not as much value as something like a combination with that team up with Hulk and Namor. It's just so much more there. Yes, you can throw, but then
that's not good. As soon as you start a series, chat, as soon as you start a tournament and you go the first round with that, with getting only 1 kill, it hurts. It hurts, bro. The motivation.
Next round, I mean, Namor also comes more online, right? You have these pillars to work off of. The map moves up and down, so there's a lot of variation that I think this Namor can take advantage of. Meanwhile, Techi's really main change is Avery over to that Bucky. We'll see if it pans out for them. Maybe that damage to the front line can be a lot, especially since people will say how Hulk can get hard countered by some heroes. We'll see if Impunity struggles with Avery.
Competitive Marvel Rivals does have the best ban system. A lot of games need to do that to prevent mirror comps. I love it.
Holding that natural cover, Impunity on that Hulk, gonna pop that ultimate and try to own the space. Dongmin up goes Brute, does not land again. These fights are so Impunity with a nice pick on Ad, and that's an early strat line pick.
Tap just needs to lock it in, bro.
Vision with the blessings, so he was in the sky blocking that meteor ram. They're still kind of coming back. Those visions went down. That is removing a lot of damage with that whale, but here comes Dogman with a huge eye. Agamotto, no, doesn't connect on anybody.
And the fights are neutral here. Waffles holding on to that Luna ultimate, just keeping the team healthy on point. Nobody got point yet. Avery, and that's the
there you go, Avery.
On the side of Techie, but it does
I mean, they're getting kills this round, but
Avery from Dongman, these trades.
Oh, there you go, Blur. There you go, Blur. There you go, Tap.
3 as Doom goes down. Tap finally showcasing the power of that Psylocke Blur onto Impunity, and again.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of mirror comps as well. I've watched a lot of like Overwatch tournaments, and Overwatch Overwatch does have a lot of mirror matchups, and it does kind of get boring pretty quick. I do like the spiciness to this, and like every game is going to be a little different. The bands are going to be different. The characters are going to be different. The team comps are going to be different. Some teams like running res comp. Some teams like running something else. It's noise.
Costing him his life afterwards. His tap down the follow through, and here comes that butterfly.
Matched immediately by the invisible boundary. Good job, Fidel. Great reaction time. Back to the point the whole team goes, and down goes Tap. Wow. Vision talking about being one of the strongest name wars. Just showcased again. Dongmin onto Brute, and they are up 2, trying to get this point back early. 33% is a bit, but it's not enough to be that impactful. Out goes the Whale. Down goes Woofle's Vision. Always landing those heavy as Nuck takes out Avery, and Shroud X will take this point back.
Yeah, I think based on what we've seen in terms of Namor's North America, I mean, they portaled, block on both sides. Here he comes through. Here comes the strings through the portal. But as you can see, everybody's working on blocking, making sure you can body block those people coming to the point. But I think it is a valid point to say Vision is probably the best Namor, one of the best Namors in North America, besides like Delena and Rymazing. There's also a few other ones, but regardless, those have kind of been the standouts so far in the Ignite series. Now for Shroud X, they have every ultimate except that Namor Whale, but he's building it so quickly. We'll see how Teki responds in this upcoming fight with the Kraken Impact. They won last time this fight, had full ultimate charge.
Yeah, it's roughly even across the board here in terms of all charge. Fidel will get it back, and that will put them ahead as Ad and Tap are going to be low in terms of the charge here. So this fight likely going to go in Shroud's favor. At least odds are. Brute going to take this space early, holding on to that meteor end, ready to play with the freeze there on the hold.
Oh, unfortunate from Doomed, but good ult by Woofles. Woofles. Oh, Shroud X has 4 ults. Uh-oh. Oh, so does Teki, though.
If they want this, Avery goes up, but it does get matched again. Great work by these counter ults from Fidel, who are finding perfect timing here. And again, Brute not able to land that meteor.
Mentioning the best Namor players, and then mention Jay3. Yeah, bro, what the fuck?
So intelligently and patiently.
Yo, they better put some respect on my name, chat. Hello.
Too late. I mean, losing 2 members of the team. I feel like Avery's playing this so well on the Bucky, but now everybody's grouping up together, getting that Hulk bubble, playing in the dagger, or the Storm Dagger, or sorry, Storm Dagger. So right now they're able to come back through after those cooldowns are popped, and now Tap is just there to clean up again. We saw this previously from Teki.
Yeah, Ad finds Dongmin. Tap
come on, Teki. Come on, Teki. You guys gotta cap it. You guys gotta cap it. Come on.
Way back onto this point, but will they be able to get the charge back? 80% for the side of Shroud X, which is a good start here, just kind of stalling and holding and falling on that point for as long as possible. But Teki in a good position here. We do have Vision.
Listen, if Namor ever becomes meta, chat,
about it, as Avery will have Kraken.
These fights go
I'll make a team of just me, myself, and I. I'll take on the world with just 3 people.
Teki taking full advantage of the Psylocke, but you know, we've seen Shroud before again with this Whale find eliminations through these Shroud's ultimates. It's on Ad, I think, to save those crystals, but it's so hard, so much pressure coming through, as well as you have final or last stand available. We'll see how they act. I mean, Avery with that with the Bucky ultimate, the Kraken Impact could go big, but right now they're leaving Tap behind right now on the flank, just kind of walking in. Namor Whale ready to go.
Yeah, and again, they are just getting this charge up 81%. Teki doing a good job here. This is what you need to see to try to get this match tied up for the side of Teki. Good pull again. And I like this switch over from Avery on to Bucky, who is getting a ton of value here and does have that Kraken ready. We know how strong that could be, but Shroud X up in all charge here. They've got to make a play quickly, as Doom does, but do they get enough
Damn,
value?
dude, that's his second ult that gets countered
nice
straight off the bat like that.
Very powerful, almost had all, but Avery finds 2. Do we see
good shit by Avery. Good shit by Avery. Hey, they can win this round. Hey, 50-50.
Who is showcasing the power of that Kraken, make it 4. Do we see 5? Avery.
Oh.
Here for Bucky at 99%, and they're gonna have to teleport back quickly.
And they have to, come back.
That doesn't look like they're teleporting. No, they lost a round. Nice, chat. Nice. We're going to a round 3. I think this series is probably going to be the most.
Maybe this will be heard in those.
I think this series is going to be the closest. I don't know. Next is Sentinels and 100 Thieves. I think that's going to be a really good one as well.
Just what a play. In general, that was just so clean by the side of TEKIXD, right, man? I mean, that was beautiful from Avery, like you said, with the Kraken Impacts, and they brought it back around the corner.
Yeah, I like the change in composition there. I think the change from Avery
wow,
was
Shroud X still is running it with the stats, though. But stats don't mean everything, chat. It's a tie game right now. Stats don't mean everything.
Besides one fight, which they still won with a pop-off there from Avery, is we're going to see Vision make that change, too.
And I want to see how Shroud X reacts, right? It seems to be back and forth in terms of heroes, but, you know, domination, you really have to, like, kind of lock your comp and build off of your ultimates. Right now, those changes, we'll see if they'll sort of react well, because you get rid of Avery on that Wolverine from the previous map, so that does make sense why you can go over to Groot now. Don't have to worry about
I think they used their portal already.
You have to deal with Bucky on that Kraken Impact.
Yeah, we do see Doom. He's going to maintain that Wolverine. It's not going to be matched by Teki, who we're finding not as much success, and that's just due to Fidel on that Invis, who's done a great job countering ultimates there with that invisible boundary. But we do see the reset again as the teams will hold on and go to point 3 for game 1. And this just goes to show you Teki, they want this W. They've done their homework. Can they come through as they are up in alt advantage?
Tap poked out early. Everybody sort of playing back with these hooks from Visions, whiffing on both sides. Avery also looking for his own, right? He was able to get so many of them in the previous round. We'll see if he does it again. Last stand also only halfway through for Doom's side. Here comes the early dance of the butterfly, trying to force out a Shroud X ultimate. Comes out a little bit late, trying to get maximum value out of this. Also towards the point, they're able to find Blur. Tap, go, can't dash away. Fidel finds him. Nice job with the physics to bring them back in. Here comes a late Meteor M from Brute. Will it connect? I mean, everybody's faded away with the cloak. Nice job from them to keep everybody healthy.
Good fade, man. Good fade. Good fade.
Have the advantage here. Teki use Shroud X ultimates to respond. Wolf comes back through with the Fatal of the Worlds. Nobody's taking the point just yet, but oh my god, what a wall there from Impunity to block off all of the healing. The damage follow-up is there. The portal comes out late from Blur, so they'll have a chance to contest the point for a little bit longer, but Tap's going to go down as well. He's made the swap over to Wolverine. Everybody else is going to go back to the spawn now as Teki resets. Shroud take control of the point.
Shroud X down in ults in the first fight. Not only down in ults, managing to find more picks, holding on, being patient, committing again, making sure that teleport doesn't get value, and then not overcommitting ults, and now still being up 3. That was a masterclass on defense there by Shroud X, who held on, being down in ults.
I feel like Shroud X looks like a different team today.
Walking in now is Teki,
I don't know.
Right? They only have that copy from odd side. Shroud X is
something is telling me that they're a different team today.
Builds up that invisible boundary so quickly. Just had it in the previous fight. Tap now over to the Psylocke, Avery over to the Wolverine. So they've had to make a few swaps. And Avery, oh no, got picked early. The hook from Visions created that opening. And you're probably not going to use any ultimates from Teki. You probably just want to go for a fast reset, and that's tough because it was so efficient. No, you get caught out by a Shrinking Prison as well. The follow-up is there from the Terror Cape, and it's one by one that Teki falls as they have to keep dealing with hooks again. Tap has to dash away, but it's going to be so hard to live. Able to barely live, getting the healing from his team. Brute now respawns, and Teki nearly halfway to losing this map in the 3rd round.
Yeah, and again, Shroud X up in alt in the next fight. I mean, TEKIXD's got to show up here, but Shroud X really well done. You can see
how many
just the
team members can you
and
have?
The confidence they're playing.
I think you can have as many as you want.
Because it doesn't matter if they take the fight first. Let them come to them.
I would say some teams have 6 players, so everyone plays every map, and some teams have like maybe 7 or 8. 2 bench players, maybe even 9.
That's a nice tackle, just barely missed there.
1 extra player for each role.
Idea, but it does not come through as the bubble likely protected. We do go up here from Brute. Will this one land? Heading towards the
come on, Brute.
Is that bond out to hold on the
He's better than that. Oh, that's a big ult. It's a big ult by Blur.
And then commit ults. But as I'm saying that, Fidel, out goes the invisible boundary. Dongmin, oh, with the big potential there, does get clipped by the ceiling, but that could have been terrifying.
Yeah, could have been terrifying if that connected into the back line. Tap, though, with the Dance of Butterflies. This is
I saw an Asia team with 11 players. Yeah, then like that, for an example. You can have 11 players.
A little bit quiet in this map, but it's been hard for him to find these eliminations by himself. Needs his team to help set him up. And Teki finally controlled that objective and push away Shroud X, who have ultimates ready to go.
Thank you. I didn't shower today.
They have nothing. TEKIXD.
Yeah, I mean, Teki is now, at 10%, but Shroud X, it's 1 fight territory. They should have the teleport back for Techies. I think it was used a little bit over 3 minutes ago. I'm not 100% sure on that. We will find out, I guess, the hard way if Shroud X is able to retake this point. They do have ult advantage here. Impunity, how strong this combination is. You see here.
Impunity, he has a good group. And he has the combo with Vision here. Seal it away. Call it a GG round 1.
And then it will get launched here. Impunity just waiting, buying, and there it is downtown.
Oh, he tried to go for the back line and only got 1 person. But he did get a reset.
Because it was on a Loki clone, and
that was a good fucking hook. Oh my god, that was a good fucking hook by Vision. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Out goes the bond, but it is now matched by the invisible boundaries. That a 2-piece there, as both cooldowns were used. So I think that actually both strats actually overlaid there.
Yeah, overlaid is not ideal. Now Shroud X sitting back. Maybe Doom can clutch it up with this ultimate ready to go. Wolf's coming up on his own tap. Meanwhile, Dance of the Butterflies into the Stagger Storm. Able to stay alive as well.
Was it Vision?
Oh,
that was Avery, wasn't it?
Lose all that healing on the front line as everybody trying to stay alive.
Oh, that was Vision.
Dance of the Butterflies. Dongman falls. Here comes Doom. Maybe with a... Oh, no!
Oh!
It's traded on the backside. Last stand from him only to connect onto that Loki. And with that, I mean, Shroud X just has to play slow and main. A lot of poke damage coming through from them. but they're still looking to kind of fight this. They're sort of making it scrappy as now they come back through with that portal. Hooks can't potentially come through. It slows
I don't know.
down.
It looks like
jump back to his team, but they just play around this back corner of the point, right? Make sure they cannot go down to these walls. Also set up tap on that flank. Vision
has another ult. I'm pretty sure he's gonna wait for his group to come back, maybe. Try to get a full team fight. No, you can't wait. You can't wait for your team yet. You can't wait for your team, bro. Even though, oh my god, don't tell me Shroud X is gonna lose with 4 ults, bro. 4. 4.
Again with the reset on the Dongman. Overtime takes down. They don't have the portal as well because they just used it. Another friendly try to save it, but Impunity going down.
4, chat. 4.
Will win map 1.
Wow, you know what? I would not have put money on it after having ult advantage there from Shroud X. They just did not find the value with that combination of prison and Kraken impact, and it really did bite them there. Teki just holding on despite being down in ults in multiple fights. It just was all about that final retake. Once they got the point, they never let it go. And
they had 4 ults.
Although it did look clean, they just could not find value on the side of Shroud X with those ults.
Yeah, really, that switch to the Bucky was huge. I think Avery popped off. I think this guy is definitely a top-tier Bucky. Same thing with Vision, but I mean, just what a performance by him.
Damn,
also
man. Hey,
really
I think any team can win this series, though. Any team can win this series. Both teams,
swap, right? That's all
both teams are good.
Avery on Wolverine, round number 1. Struggling, same thing with Tap versus that Namor, but that immediate switch to the Bucky has resulted in the side of Shroud X sort of not panicking, but figuring out a solution, because right now that Bucky was doing way too much, and Avery, I think...
What's up, Bunny?
I mean, he's definitely been sort of an unsung hero of this team of TEKIXD, but he definitely popped off there.
Yeah, definitely known for the flying composition, but that switch to Bucky was it. Right? As soon as that happened, Tides started turning back in their favor. Speaking of Tides, we did see a lot of this Namor, which was switched off there towards the end, but found a lot of value early on. Just not able to get the the job done here on that map. So what a play here by Teki, who really showed up when they needed to, despite Shroud X looking dominant for the vast majority of those
I looked away for 2
maps.
seconds. Shroud lost.
Absolutely.
Why would you look away for
this
2 seconds when it was an overtime situation? It was like 99-99. It was last fight.
Practice. We see like a lot of teams just figure out, okay, this comp can't be played. Okay, this comp can, right? We saw with that Psylocke and alongside the Wolverine, that Namor comp really dismantled it. But once they swap to that Bucky, it just feels like that Hulk can't
Shroud
stay alive.
Said, why do they always lose when I watch? And they didn't
3,
lose yet. They lost the first round. There's a lot of teams who lose the first round, but end up bouncing back and winning the series.
But that reverse sweep, that sort of steady climb back from Teki after they swap tap back over to that Psylocke, Avery onto that Bucky yet again, and they, despite I think was it Guru that said it, or was it Boger that I think that said it today? You kind of want to just play those comfort picks. We've seen Tap pop off on Psylocke. He's so good. Avery kind of the same thing. There's so many good Bucky players. I feel like
how long are those
not that it's a crutch or anything, but there's so many good Bucky players in North America.
Usually some games last 2 hours, maybe 2.5.
Human Torch, but he looks even better, I think, on the Bucky.
He found a lot of value waiting for the walls to go up there for Groot, and then getting pulls early on and kind of throwing off the mojo of what the idea of the play was.
I didn't play any games today. I did 11 hours of straight watching. I did 2 games of content though. We watched The Hacker and we watched Rank 1 Moon Knight.
But then faltering in that moment, which it has been the storyline of them, but I know they have the capabilities to get through and pull back a W and sweep this back. But we'll find out if they can do that right after this break.
Shining on those memories, and yes, across all time I see you turning the tides. And do you see now our time, our turn? We can still fight like the wind and fire, and wonder no more that now is the only time your heart is mine. Light has fallen, darkness grows, and yes, we fight for our destiny and fate. New days smiling for the past and future. Break those chains, lead the way, fight with me. And when you wake up, open your eyes, raising up your fists and smashing through time.
Welcome back, everyone. TEKIXD showing up map 1 and taking it from Shroud X. Will they proceed forward, or will Shroud X bounce back? Find out very shortly, as it now goes into Convoy or Convergence, and the choice is Shroud X.
Yeah, want to see where they take us, but I mean, that's the biggest thing, is that you winning a map off of a team that seemed to have dominated you so far. Like, I think that's definitely huge for the momentum shift in terms of, you know, the confidence of this team to win a map off of Shroud X, who has been very good against TEKIXD, although it's been close and competitive every time. And this is what we're talking about with the ego death situation. I feel like TEKIXD, you know, they're kind of proving, not that, you know, it's tough. Envy is a hard team to beat, don't get me wrong. But I think TEKIXD, I think, even though they didn't get first blood versus a, you know, top tier team in terms of the signed teams, Techies they've sort of proven throughout the tournament they might be the better team overall in terms of an unsigned roster that deserves to be picked up. Across the whole roster, I think that they definitely have top tier talent that needs to be looked at for a lot of esports organizations.
Yeah, and they're starting to branch into that conversation we had about a very strong composition of that divey, you know, cap and Psylocke composition with maybe even Torch. As you know, Avery can get up in the sky. Obviously, some of that stuff is getting banned out, but they're not afraid to pull that out, which has found a ton of success in this tournament so far. So they have that in the bag, which has helped them with a ton of W's. But even in that moment, Avery pulling out the Bucky and getting so much value with those pulls. It's seemingly, you know, honestly, a little bit of it has to go to Shroud X, who had alt advantage and just couldn't quite get a ton of value. But that is also good positioning there by Teki.
Yeah, I think we're in for a banger. I think, Shib, I mean, first map had gone down to the wire for both sides. Shroud X capping out to 99, and then, like you said, Teki kind of coming back, sort of cloning themselves back into it. We'll see what the bans are this phase. I know that Shroud X potentially on a Convoy and Convergence, looking to play that potential triple strategist compositions. We'll see how Teki reacts to that. I know that comp is good, very hard to play, but for Shroud X, we'll see what they opt to do, right? We do have that Ultron availability still here. Also, Loki bans coming through now on the side of TEKIXD, not wanting to deal with Shroud X and that Loki. Punisher ban on the opposite side, not wanting to deal with tap on that character.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that makes sense, because when you lock in that Magneto, it does, although you think, you know, you can use the Meteor M to counter, a lot of the time that bubble comes out, it makes it even more difficult, and you waste the ultimate anyway. So there is value in Magneto in countering it. But at this level of play, they always have that shield ready with the ultimate to keep moving forward.
Wolverine going to be protected as well for Shroud X. They want to play that character again, as they did on map number 1. For Teki, I want to see what they do. Will they even protect the Wolverine? Do they want to play around it? I think you kind of at times need that Wolverine in case they do play Groot. And the Doctor Strange ban comes through because they don't want Dongmin on that hero. I think Dongmin talked about how he was, his words, not mine, missing Meteor M's on Magneto. So maybe putting him over to that Doctor Strange was helpful, and getting rid of it now for TEKIXD. Maybe they want Dongmin to prove he can still hit those Meteor M's on that Magneto. Dongmin, a very good Magneto player, by the way. I think he's just being hard on himself. But now Luna Snow protect from his signed Psylocke ban to make sure Tap can't play that hero, and a lot of targets towards both Avery and Tap, it looks like, for Shroud X. Opposite side, they don't want to deal with that Loki, making sure that that Shroudedus line is a little bit weaker for Shroud X.
We will see Doomed on that Wolverine again, and that showed a lot of value early on in the domination mode. But on Araco here, you can be very aggressive, and we talk about those portal plays, and you have escape if you overcommit a little bit. So we definitely will see some of that. But also that Punisher, you can set up here after point 1. Shroud X is going to be defending, obviously. Curious to see if they will run that triple, but you can find
Sorry,
those off
I had to go refill my water
as well and get behind the enemy holding you tight. But we will see what it looks like as we dive in here. In terms of Araco in the past, obviously this one went to the side of Shroud X, but it is a new game, and Techi's really showcasing that they can pull through.
Chat, I wasn't wiping my ass while saying sorry. What are you guys saying? Brie, I am though for 10 months. I appreciate it. I hope all's well. I don't know if I said that, but
the advice
appreciate
that
it.
domination can be a bit 50-50 sometimes, and you know, if one fight doesn't go your way, you give up so much percentage. So, you know, domination, maybe not seen as the most strategic map out of all of the maps in Marvel Rivals, but it definitely can be the most important map to win, right? Even though at times it could feel random, it's still 1/3 of the game modes, right? So you have to win on domination, even if at times it feels unfair.
Come on.
Now on the
Come on, Shroud X.
Side,
I want you guys to win the next round. I want this series to be close.
With
Let's
the
get it.
Hulk out of all characters alongside Brute. So cool to see Teki play that.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen much of that. I think
that was
Blur
actually pretty
definitely
good.
has it in
What?
the bag, and Blur's not afraid to pull out things like Cap as well as they press forward. But you know, definitely a different decision, and we don't see the tight hold here from Shroud X, which I'm a little bit surprised of. I think they've seen. I mean, the other teams have found a lot of success with in the past, but maybe it's just a little too risky. And since they don't have that strange teleport back, that's probably why they're doing it, right? It does make sense that you can't guarantee 3 fights if you don't have that teleport, but this is that angle I'm talking about. You see Doom taking that height in case anyone tries the portal off, and they can immediately drop them in that garbage bin that is that opening here on point 1. So smart idea, but it doesn't look like it came into fruition as Avery presses forward and is staying on top of that Bucky. Fidel gonna find one on tap here and put Shroud X up on the D.
A huge pick off onto tap, and you know, as we're talking about the group being in play and no Wolverine right now, Doomed on the opposite side, another Wolverine play again, grabs him, brings him back to the team. Dongman there with the follow-up. So Teki sort of on the back foot. I mean, it's tough when you're against the Wolverine, but also when you're against that group and don't have your own Wolverine.
Raging
so right now, Teki having to figure things
for
out.
15 months. How you doing, my friend?
America. Maybe you can create a little bit of space towards this backline and force early Shroud X ultimates because they have been built first for Shroud X.
Okay, chat.
Yeah, and it is at
this map is ass. This map is not ass. I like this map.
We're holding this corner tight. Dongman does have that meteor. Fidel, Vision,
I like this map.
And Nuck as well. And Impunity slightly behind. Impunity, you're electing to play that Groot a lot more. Very, very good Groot. You just got to see some big big Strangling Prisons coming up here. Nuck gonna find Blur, and that's another early take from the strategist lines on Shroud X prior to these fights as they're trying to play aggressive here. We talk about Blur able to play that Captain America as well, already making that switch as Doom trying to find an off map. Instead gonna elect to go back to the back line and get healed up.
And now they go on through. Meteor M coming through on the backside. Also, Kraken impact from Avery.
I like this map. This is a good map.
Space for him, kind of giving that supportive backline as it's met by Shredder's ultimates, but the first pick's been down on Impunity.
Oh, there's no way. Yo, Dongman, wait a minute. What was that, bro? That man just tried to fucking Kobe for the 3 and try to win the game, but he airballed.
On the opposition from Teki. Alt advantage now going to be back in the favor of Shroud X. Excuse me. Will Teki going to match that as Blur? Uses Captain America.
I like this. This map is really fun. It grew on me as well.
And Vision going to collapse right back towards them. Try to negate that ultimate. Nice pick there by Vision onto Avery. Taking that space, only able to find one, but that will be enough.
Good shot. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. His team is still winning.
Yeah, they also commit that last, final stand on the
Ooh, I don't know about that Luna ult from Woofles though. Chat.
From Shroud X, right? I mean, unfortunately,
Woofles usually doesn't do bad ults like that. I think that was bad.
Woofles also had to commit that Fate of the World, so it's tough that that ultimate is now removed. That was the one advantage you had going into this next fight. Now we're down to 60 seconds left on the clock. So much time has been chewed off the bank, and you know, usually we see this time chewed off the bank when there's like a triple Vanguard, triple strategist comp, but right now Shroud X just playing honest Marvel Rivals, straight up 2-2-2, and Teki can't respond.
Yeah, I mean, this is their map, right? It shows you their practice here. This looks really clean. Obviously, a pretty strong defensible position, especially right here in this corner. Sometimes you'll see the Invisible Woman get popped out just to try to get that push-off map at this first point, but not going to be chosen here. Instead, they're just feeling confident with their composition. It's all about this next fight now. Avery and Brute. Here comes the meteor from Brute. Will it find Purchase right towards the back line?
Nice.
Brute and Blur gonna find
but
two.
not
That's
nice.
A good start. Make that 3. Are they going to collapse on it?
Come on,
Yes,
Doom. Come on, Shroud X.
Matched right back, but
ooh, nice hide by Ad. Is that how you say his name? Ad? AAD? Odd?
Gonna walk forward with the pull.
Impunity. Oh, he got his enemy. He got his Struggle Prison canceled. What a hook there from Avery. Lucky. And now here comes, oh my goodness, Tap on the back line of Wolverine. Shuts down them with his ultimate. Oh no. Gets beamed by this.
Nice.
But eventually the
passive
popped in.
That was a good hold by Shroud. That was a good hold by Shroud's team.
That could have ended things.
Shroud's looking like a very strong team right now, chat.
Second phase of the map. And this is the worrisome part for Shroud X is that not a lot of teams do well here, I think, in the second phase on defense, although we do see Wolverine succeed on this point of the map, and Doomed does have that ultimate ready to go. So I'd be curious to see if like Shroud X can kind of find a little bit of stability here. It's like I said, very hard on this second part of the map. Not a lot of teams can kind of hold this attack back here, especially with 2 minutes in the time bank on Teki.
Yeah, I may be mistaken, but I think one of the only teams that did it was Shroud X. I think they went to an Ultron composition, but you're right. It's a very difficult position to hold, as once you get one, you know, as you get down that alleyway, you can have your own off angles. You can sweep right and left on height, so it does, you know, make the backline, the strategist, a little more nervous and forced to look over their shoulder and try to get a pull there. Avery just keep using all those abilities and build that charge. Tackled right back. Doom gonna fall. Great work there by Avery to help out a teammate.
Oh.
Prison from downtown. Dongman
I love that combo. When you Groot ult and then you you Groot ult and then you Punisher ult and everyone's just standing still and it's all headshots. You just mow them down.
I mean, they're going to win this team fight, but all it cost Teki was that Fate of the Worlds, right? Committing 3 ultimates for 1. Now onto the attack, tap close to his own last stand. So we'll see how Shroud X do. I think that ultimate is just so impactful that it's tough. You don't really want to waste it. Unfortunately for them, Shroud X losing that ultimate for this next fight. Both duelist ultimates. So I think the Vanguard, Dongman, going to have to go big in this fight, but it's hard versus Captain America. Freedom Charge sort of negates the value of Meteor M with the overhealth.
And here comes the beginning. Avery lands that crack and doesn't find a ton of purchase. And there's a throw from downtown Dongman. Not able to find anything.
I don't know, man. I think Dongman's Strange is a lot better than his mag. I feel like I've been seeing him do a lot of air balls. I mean, so Brute also did an air ball.
Out goes the Bond. They're going to walk forward with it. And here comes the last stand with 3. And that's huge as Tap finds 3. And they're going to follow up with Brute and Blur. Waffles onto Impunity.
Tap is insane.
To make things interesting, trying to get through point 2.
Yeah, if they have 4 on the payload, I'm not sure if they touch, but we'll see. That's the tough part. That's what I said about wasting last stand, is you can use it after all these Stratus ultimates are over and just connect flush onto every single one, eliminate them immediately, and now we're moving to the 3rd phase of the map. We've seen teams struggle in the 2nd phase of Morocco, and you're seeing exactly why. This 3rd phase, though, I think is definitely more defensible, but if a snowball comes through, that'd be massive.
Wait, why was Blur so far forward?
That's definitely going to slow down Teki's attack with 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was good.
I mean, he's going to spawn right next to his team, but why was he so far forward?
Last stand, that ultimate gets so much value, especially if your team's coordinated like this. You essentially choose all your cooldowns. If you know where he's going to land, why not throw some of those abilities directly in that path? Just get that raw damage on everyone, as you see Avery using some of those E's there to just plow through the backline as they do retake the space. This is a defensible position early on, but the tide shift heavily as you press through it, and then again back as a defensible position as you push right to the point as the spawn is so close. Doomed gonna find a last stand soon, trying to find the back line, but no, gonna take the high side. Vision walking through here onto Brute. That's 1, keeping the pressure forward. Out goes the boundary, but still Impunity cleaning up Avery. They need to keep this pressure on and not let him go too far, as this is already a very strong push here from TEKIXD.
Incredibly strong. 40 seconds left to go now for Teki. I mean, they can sort of work themselves back into this fight. Doomed again with that last stand. He could go huge on his team's side. There's no crystals as well for Shroud X, though, so it's hard to live even through a lot of these big ultimates from that Kraken impact and tap. But this is going to be a big fight. I'm going to have to look out for both Wolverines and that Kraken impact on Avery's side.
And the space is taken. Ult advantage roughly even. Nuck holding on to that bond. We've got Dongman's Meteor ready, and it can be matched right back on Brood. Tackle goes out. No value just yet. Burning some of these walls. Wolverine actually able to charge those claws on Groot walls. For those who don't know, Doomed.
Oh, come on, man.
Can they keep the pressure? Avery.
Come on, man.
Can they get the reset?
Chat.
Not able to do so.
What's up with Dongman yesterday, today, bro? Did he use up all his luck yesterday? What a freeze! What a freeze from.
Yes, actually, Blur finds a 2-piece Vision. Gonna find.
Oh, from I think it was Fidel, right? What a fucking freeze!
As they push towards the end here for point 3.
Absolutely, and I mean, in that case, both of these Wolverines win for their last stand. Taps was just a little bit bigger. Also had the follow-up from Blur. No diving Vanguards for Shroud X, so the follow-up from Doom not there. His was a little bit too far forward, and nobody else could really be there, though Visions has that final judgment. Right, this is a big point for it as well. Not a lot of cover. Brute could shut it down with a massive Meteor M.
I do think Waffles with the freeze there actually was game-changing. It was a mini freeze. It wasn't for long, but it did stop the last stand for getting a ton of value. Vision gets 2, make that soon to be 3.
Hey, they forced a C9. Everyone was alive. I don't think they killed anyone with that Groot ult and the Punisher ult. Hey, good shit by Shroud X, but bro, I feel like Shroud X should have
coming through in the clutch at that last point.
They should have held a lot earlier, man.
I think for Shroud X to
they killed 2. It didn't look like they killed 2. Who did they kill in it?
TEKIXD did. I mean, they had like 30 seconds left.
I saw the Loki lamp. Are my eyes that fucked up? I saw them Loki ult, and I saw a Loki lamp.
That very last point, the spawn door being right behind you.
And then he was shooting the Captain America in the back line.
They were close, really close. So that is going to put Shroud X in a scary spot in the forward.
Killed Mag with ult. Chat, am I going blind?
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. TEKIXD.
I can't read any of those numbers.
Shroud X is attacking. That's what I thought.
Yeah, Shroud X is 2 attacking side, and on the defense, I mean that's what we saw when we went to that third phase of the map.
I think I'm blind.
And not exactly a lot.
All
of
I
cover
saw
there.
was a
The
Loki
only way that I
lamp.
think Teki wins that, and you said it earlier. That was a big freeze
And then,
as well to slow down Doomed with that last stand. That was definitely nice and clean from Wolfels. Definitely a very good.
Ooh, they're running the triple comp, chat. They're running the triple comp.
I think the Wolverine play has been clean from
Blur. Blur's 11 and 2. Blur's popping off.
Now that we move over to the attack,
besides that one time he fed,
kind of wave that aside. They played pretty well considering how things went first fight. I mean, first point,
it was the Rockets,
so
you didn't see it too well. I think I'm blind, bro.
Point for a lot of attacking teams until you sort of reach that second bend. So we'll see how Shroud X does on their attack as Teki moves on to defense.
Yeah, Teki's going to be doing that triple strat strategy, holding up, triple Vanguard strategy, holding up.
Have the games been good today?
Shroud X is going to press through that pretty quickly as Fidel immediately, as I say that, Blur goes down. So Shroud X looking clean off the start. Doomed, going to try to find another, but Brute going to find Nuck, and the res comes up.
I think the best one was Rad versus Berber Patapin.
In the front side, buy as much time here as possible. I was surprised Shroud X didn't do this. They don't have the access to the stranger to teleport back.
So far, NA games.
So clean on the defense on this first point that it didn't really
Ego Death got swept by Envy, sadly. 3 out.
They're gaining those ults quickly. Brute almost ready. Add at 71.
This is the second NA game.
So far on the strat line, ready to use that just to buy more time. Just wasting time is the goal here. They want to see how long they can last as Avery finds vision and Add finds impunity.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we got to build those ultimates up. Maybe I think Vision's a little bit too far forward. Maybe could be building up towards that that final judgment. And like we've seen a lot of good Punisher players do. But now Doom's over to that Squirrel Girl. You usually see this kind of come through in these triple Vanguard compositions. We'll see if it pans out for them though.
Yeah, this is essentially, it's like you want to use this just to, you want to do so much damage. A bunch of damage out here right now. Burn every shot he can.
Oh, no. Come on, Shroud. Come on, Shroud. Come on, Shroud.
Keeping them in the spawn door, still holding on to 3 ultimates. Almost 4 here for Woofles. This is a scary place to be in for Shroud X, who's trying to rotate this composition to make sure they can get out, but they're now going to have every ult in the book. This is their fight to win. They have to do it now.
I mean, they're getting cheese on.
Imagine being a professional Marvel Rivals player. What's wrong with that?
So it's reacted well by Shroud X, but they need to find a big ultimate from impunity.
What's wrong about getting paid to play video games? Sounds like a fucking dream.
This is huge. The final judgment here could be very valuable, and it is. Down goes Blur with a combination from Doom, keeping the pressure forward, but that res comes back. Numbers are even. Don't forget that. That's where it gets tricky. Oh, and what a move there on the side of Woofles to juke that meteor and keep the team up in this fight. Teki putting on a masterclass of this triple Vanguard, and there we go with the Eternal Bond. Doom finds another. That will not be res. This is on cooldown, and there we go from Shroud X.
Okay, there you go. Shroud X finally broke the spawn camp. And someone said it seems interesting that you see Squirrel Girl being played, but when I see watch high ranked play, she's almost never played.
We usually see it on
Squirrel Girl's played a lot
as well, but because you have
they play Squirrel Girl here because Teki was playing 3 tanks, 3 supports, and it's very tough to get through that defense. So they play Squirrel Girl to basically spam them out and do a lot of damage.
And that is so impactful, especially after you hold it already down to 1 minute left. So they need to clutch up here. Shroud X needs to find value with every ult. Any mistake will cost them. Avery with the eye. Blur ready as well with the clobbering time. And this...
Yo, Kristoff! Appreciate that's at 5 months.
Oh, there's that clobbering time. Does it find purchase? It does, but can they follow up? I don't believe so. Impunity with a mean strangling, and they're not able... they are, as Vision already has this final judgment again. Taking down 1, but what do you know? The res. Oh, great teleport.
What great teleport by Vision.
They needed that here. Vision again. There's that eye. It does find... oh, it doesn't find any. Will they be able to take out Dung? And they do. Woofles finds a pick there, but Shroud X still taking this pressure. 30 seconds on final fight territory.
Dongwin maybe a little bit too far forward there. Teki rezzed as well. Brute, so Brute's back in the fight like we saw. And then that thing now swapping over to that Captain America alongside Avery on the Doctor Strange. So currently Teki's still holding on like you mentioned. 16 seconds left. This hold is looking even better than Shroud X's.
I mean, what? Look at this composition. You see,
oh no, bro! Oh no! Come on, Shroud X.
Massive again. Just a demon.
Do you still play Overwatch 2? Yes.
More massive than the low taper fade. We do see it all very close here.
More massive than the low taper fade. No, man.
pressure's getting shoved in here. Nuck is going to use that bond, but it does not result in too much. We've got to hold on here. We are in OT, and now it's all about these alts. Can they get back there? Vision close.
Wait, did he go into his turret form to block that? Oh my god. 5 head from Vision.
And here comes the eye, and it does land on Fidel. Fidel falls. Nuck on Avery traded right back.
Oh no, people are just getting traded.
Ultimate falls, and Teki may shut this down right now.
And then this goddess, unfortunately, the Hurricane gonna get just cleaned up by the Captain America. All the healing, all the extra health coming through. Nuck falls. I mean, this is incredibly brutal right now.
No, bro, they throw it behind me and I die.
Towards this objective, overtime ticks down, and they got first point held by TEKIXD. They have 2 on Shroud X.
TEKIXD, bro, 2-0'd.
X out of the Ignite series.
Wow. Teki looking really good. I mean, look at that. Tap was on Rocket the entire game. The entire defensible game, excuse me. But that's crazy. Like, they were running that triple the whole time, never swapped, stayed consistent. They pulled. It was just a masterclass of that front defense, you know? And I think it's genius. I think it's genius by Teki to ban out the Strange so they can't do that. It does make it far less valuable when you cannot guarantee the second touch. And that was just showcased right there because Shroud X definitely making the right plays, and they were coming through. You can see the stat lines look great across the board. Penalty maybe not getting as many finals, but still, they played strong together. Just that too much time was burned in the beginning there.
Oh,
I think personally,
the
chat.
first team to kind of do that Doctor Strange banning was a team like Team N.
Watch this. I'm gonna call it out right now. I could read you guys the script. I could read you guys the script right now. Watch this.
Bring up good points alongside the fact that like they have a really good Doctor Strange.
Shroud's team is down 0-2 right now. They're going to. It's their choice to pick the map. Look. I'm gonna mute these guys real quick. It's Shroud's team. It's their choice to pick the map. They're going to go to the symbiote map. They're going to go, what was it, Clintar symbiote or whatever the fuck it's called. Shroud's team is going to ban Magneto, and a Dongmin is going to play the Doctor Strange, and they're going to hit fucking some crazy eyes. I don't think his Magneto is clicking right now, chat. I don't think he's a good player or great player, but his mag is not hitting. Go to Clintar symbiote. Lock Doctor Strange. That's what's gonna happen. I have $5 billion. I have $5 billion. That's gonna happen.
Really a product of Shroud X not playing well together. I think it's just a product of Teki playing insane together. They just looked so good, and it's like every ult that was used found some sort of
$5 billion on the line right there. I know what they're gonna do.
Getting a pick, and it just kept happening.
And we'll see now. I mean, Ad MVP, by the way, just played phenomenally on that Loki, just on every hero basically in general whenever he's on Cloak. So really
yeah, this guy popped off on the. This guy popped off.
You know, the follow through is there at all times.
On Loki.
So easy
when
MVP
Loki players pop off,
it
makes me really want to play Loki as well, chat. How many times have I said I wanted to play Loki and Wolf? I need to play. I need to learn Loki and Wolves.
They are now down 2, right? They're about to potentially get reverse swept on. Let me check something real quick, Shib. You talk for a second real quick. I'm gonna check something.
Sure. So what I gotta say, just in the meantime, which I was gonna mention, we talked about
talk
Ad.
real quick. I'm gonna check something.
As much love. Ad has like been an MVP like 5 out of 6 of these 6 games, with the duelists being as strong as they have been. So really well played in the backline. Good patience and focus. Good utilization of ultimates. That final fight just so consistent. Good trades back and forth, and it was just clean. It seems like they studied up on that map and they figured it out.
Also, I have bad news for any Shroud X fan. Unfortunately, Shroud X is watching, or Shroud is watching the series, and based on what we've seen, when Shroud is not watching Shroud X, they win. So I think it'd be best not to, listen, I love Shroud. Just saying, I'm not a superstitious guy, but if you're a Shroud X fan, it might be best if Shroud turns off the stream. Make sure you guys let him know to go somewhere else, go outside, stop watching, maybe just leave your computer, let the game play itself. You can have your chat watch, but obviously for Shroud X, I think he might be bad luck for his team. Not to be too superstitious or anything, as much as I love Shroud. We'll see what happens with this team. Can they reverse sweep? We've seen it done before, Shib.
Damn.
We saw day number 2. I mean, this team can definitely do it. Shroud X can kind of come together right now against TEKIXD. Shroud X have to do it right now, though. They have to come through in the next couple maps, but it's going to be domination up next. So we'll see how they do, what map they pick, man. Shroud X, can they do it? We'll come back from a break in just a second for map number 3.
Time.
I was looking at his chat. They're saying true. Bro. Bro. Dustin, Dogman came out here to fucking swing, bro. He was... Damn. The Shroud said he might actually just step away. Bro. No. What Shroud needs to do... Listen, Shroud has... He has all the money in the world, chat. What Shroud needs to do is stay there, support his team. He needs to support them through thick and thin. It doesn't matter if they lose. And if they do lose and they don't go to China and they don't get to play for $500,000 or they don't win the $250,000 prize pool, Shroud should just give them that money anyways. That's pocket change for Shroud, bro. And then Shroud, instead of sending him to China, give his team 2 weeks paid vacation anywhere they want. That's what Shroud should do. Listen. And medical insurance? Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean you should also do that? What do you think I look like, bro? If I had a team playing in the tournament, the best I could do is probably, you know, 25 cents, a bar of soap, some Snickers, and a high five and a nice firm handshake. That's all I got. And by the way, you can only pick one. I can't give you all of that. I gotta spread the whatever you don't pick goes to the next person. That's all I got. Which one would you guys take? Bar of soap, Snickers, the 25 cents? I'll be on the team for a crisp high five. You want the crisp high five? Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. Nice. What do you mean double it and give it to the next person? Bar of soap and I'll drop it for you, Jay. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? You just followed my stream to say that? Nah, you fit. You fit here, bro. You fit here with this chat after that. Snickers for a mid-game snack. Nah, man.
Game set, but is it match? TEKIXD up 2, and you may not be superstitious, but you're a little stitious, calling out Shroud there a little bit, and we'll see if he closes it down. But their team's got what it takes. Can they pull through and reverse sweep?
Yeah, that's the tough part for Shroud X, is that they've been a team that has kind of been just kind of working together very well recently, and that's the difficult aspect of this game, is that it feels like you can just any given day lose to anybody. And TEKIXD is a team that is not putting the game down. They're grinding this game so much.
I'll pick the handshake. I got you, bro. Nice firm handshake, by the way.
So many scrims, so many times in VOD review where they discuss the game, and I mean, you can see, I mean, the amount of passion they have for the game is visible. And if they were to win in a Shroud X, that puts them one game away from LAN as an unsigned team, and that sends Shroud X home, unfortunately. But for TEKIXD, they're right there, right at the very end of getting into this next round of the loser bracket.
Yeah, I mean, this is the moment.
I worked a 10-hour shift, just ate breakfast and lunch and back to back. And do I go insane?
Now it's a matter of fact,
Insano style and just make dinner right now for the hat trick? Hell yeah! Make dinner with me on in the background.
Choice, I do think. You know, strangely enough, insane coaching decision from a team that maybe doesn't have a coach with that strange ban. I think that is so impactful on that map. It wasn't matching the opposition because, you know, typically not necessarily worth the ban all the time, especially against Teki. But when Teki does the triple Vanguard hold, it's a whole new story.
Yeah, absolutely. I think TEKIXD, I think they have everything in their back pocket. And, you know, remember, Shiv, if we go back to, since we are going to domination, right, for this next, wait, everyone, where it's 2. It's just kidding, not domination. I called it too early. We're going to a convergence, right? So that will be
Google,
map number 3. Convoy was the last
light.
one. We went to Morocco. So we're not almost there, and Shroud X did beat Teki on that map. Now, you know, I'm having shades of the other day when Teki lost to Sentinels on a map like
100K dinner or 100K or a dinner with Jay3. What that? $100,000 or dinner with me, bro? I smacked the shit out of you if you pick dinner with me. Take the $100,000 and then let's go fucking eat anywhere in the world. You pay.
Do you think this team has finally had that experience? You know, those really painful losses that kind of come together. Do you think one day is enough to kind of recover from a situation like that and sort of shore up your defenses?
I think it definitely can. You know, it's all about the day, right? We talk about, you know, teams can study up, but it's still a matter of who shows up on this day. All these teams are so close in margin. It's so difficult, as you see by our brackets. I mean, we've been watching every single game, and all of us are trash at making brackets because of how close these teams are. It is insane, but we are going
chat. Why is the next map?
I would have expected, but I'm curious to see what they're going to play and who they're going to ban.
Yeah, I bet you. I wonder if there's that one nerd in chat that's like, actually, my March Madness bracket was perfect. Like, that's actually what we're probably saying, because there's no way anybody had day one going as it did, and nobody. I don't think many teams had TEKIXD going as far as they did. Did you? I don't think anybody had. I mean, we had this team on the radar. We talked about tap and stuff.
According to my calculations,
so well, like you mentioned, I don't know. I mean, this team really.
I'm
is just
pretty sure I
things
said they're gonna go to Hall of Dahlia or whatever,
yeah, I'm with you. I think they're criminally underrated, honestly, Teki, and they have had bad losses, which I think kind of puts a bad taste in people's mouth where they're unable to get a win. But then they do things like this and bounce back on a team that has beaten them 4 straight times, and now they're up 2-0 in a series that you only need 3 to win. So it is crazy.
I told you they're gonna save Strange. How much? Now you guys owe me $5 billion. Actually, $2.5 billion. I got half of it right. I got the character right, but not the map. You guys owe me $2.5 billion. Thank you.
Dongman has been insane with those Ivagamotos, obviously. So you know, he mentioned
$2.5 billion. Shit, chat. You know what? Make it $2.5 trillion.
Really wants a chance to showcase what he can do and bounce back here on Hall of Dahlia. I'm curious. We do see the ban out of Luna and Loki going after the Stratline. Loki banned on both sides. Emma consistently always gone, but this is going to be a little bit of a different composition here. We are going to see some changes up. Definitely not a map that you can try to hold at a spawn door, especially because it is convergence.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. I think that this map is that's actually a good point you bring up. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen a first hold come through on these type of maps, right? On convergence, so like the triple Vanguard, triple strategist spawn holds.
Yeah, because
the best I can do is $5 and a hug, and I don't do hugs. Like, yeah, you know what? I'll take $5.
Grab point and force eyes backwards. So
any primers in the chat?
It just doesn't make sense, but it is, you know, it is a decent thing to bring up because obviously
any primers?
The case, but it is kind of curious. But yeah, I mean, right now, Shroud X, they've got to figure it out. They do lock in that Stranger comfort pick.
Wait, that's actually a good point. Maybe it's not that it's impossible. Maybe it's more that the teams haven't tried it yet. Maybe like it's like what, because if you do a Doctor Strange, I mean, like you have the portal back to point 2, right? So I mean, it's tough, I guess, for like your strategist to set up and stuff. And we've seen spawn door holds as well in other games as well. But I suppose in Marvel Rivals, spawn door holds are a lot harder when you don't have the cover, like you mentioned. So I don't know. Maybe if you figure out these maps where you can set up a backline, you could definitely do something like that. I mean, we've already seen a lot of cheese, especially with the Spider-Man over to like Trust Me used to do like Spider-Man and then come back on Venom and Doctor Strange after trying to pull somebody off the map as the Vanguard. So it's definitely something teams might think about in the future.
And here we go again.
Yo, Cass Witch, appreciate that for 3 months. How do you say your name? Is it I Tyler?
A very strong Ultron has found success.
ITV alert. Appreciate that as a prime sub, my friend. Welcome. Tier 1 sub. Welcome.
Good choice here. Definitely changing things up as we see
W
on Cap, Fidel on Invis. You've got Nuck on the Cloak and Dagger and the Psylocke out for Doomed. Almost matched exactly, except for Brute's going to be on Magneto, and there will be a Luna from Woofles. Oh wait, excuse me. The damage boost here going to be out from Mantis, which is a little less of a healing composition and more of an aggressive comp as Brute finds one early for TEKIXD.
Yeah, maybe that. I wonder if Brute was damage boosted for that, because now they're just walking on Shroud X, and this is sort of a not newer comp, but it's making waves. This sort of Mantis support strategist composition, just damage boosting everybody.
Bro. Okay, good. Shroud X cannot be.
Gets frozen. Portal has to come through now, but it's not there.
Oh, Shroud X cannot be giving him the first point in the first fight. Chat and have 9.5 minutes, bro.
Just to kind of stagger the team out.
Come on, man.
A demon here on the Ultron, keeping the pressure on in the sky. Ults now even.
That was a good push from Teki, though. It was a really good push from Teki.
Impunity only able to get to 43 as we now see the changeover to Hulk.
I know we don't see it all that much. We do see, at least in the Asia region, I believe they do a lot of this Mantis damage boost onto the Ultron, get that 165 damage body shot, and just 2-tap backlines. So right now for Teki, they're playing heavily around Avery, like you mentioned, and oh my gosh, Blur falls so low, but he's able to get away as well, build up those Shroud X ultimates, which they are sitting on a lot of them on TEKIXD's side.
Yeah, and we're going to see a ton of Qs popped here. Out goes that boundary just to kind of counteract here Avery. But, you know, you get that ult back so quick here on Ultron, especially if you're able to land those shots, which you know people at this level do not miss. Aiming right towards the backline. Cap going to try to distract there. Very low, and down goes Doom. Good play there by Blur. Good focus and dive. Great positioning early on. Again, an advantage. Out goes that eye by Dongmin, but still counteracted here as we do see a ult from Nuck to keep the pressure forward. Vision is going to be playing. Oh, so they completely switch over to this competition.
Oh, come on, Brute. Hey, Dogman had the block, though.
We'll see if it pans out. I know they played triple res on this map. In this fight, though, oh my god, very aggressive ult from Doom. Met by Blur with the Freedom Charge. Vision's going to go down on the opposite side.
Here we go, Brute with the two-piece. Just keeping the pressure.
Yeah, these mags are looking like me out there when I play basketball, bro. Just throwing up bricks.
The trade you need is two strategists go down, trying to help you out in these long, sustained fights. This will be the fight you need to take. But Tap takes out Impunity before they can even get eyes on. Nuck was looking backwards to try to keep the strats up and alive and reset, but it was just a little to no avail. But Nuck going to try to press forward and hold on to that point. We do have Dongmin full HP, full shield ready to buy some time. And here comes the Tap Psylocke ultimate. Out goes
oh no, man.
And that could be enough to make things dangerous on point 2 already with almost 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 3:17 on. Down go 2 more. Vision falls. Nuck falls. Teki just riding a wave here through Shroud X.
Bro, I'm trying to cheer for Shroud's team, bro, but they're making it very impossible here. Also, Tap is going the fuck off, man. Tap is like... Tap is going X game mode
with Tap. I mean, we saw Doom try to go for that 1v1. It's harder for him for sure because he doesn't have that snowflake, that hard pocket as well.
Does this team get kicked out of the tournament? Yes.
From
Loser goes
from
home.
The sky, from the Ultron. So Tap just has all the resources, and it's well deserved at the moment.
And here we're going to see an Ultron's Ridge very shortly. It's you initiate with it all the time. You force
and the winner plays 100. Oh, sorry, not 100. The winner plays
like this. And here comes the aggression right now. They're going to use that movement speed boost just to help you mid ult, so you can juke vertically. As you see, just a ton of movement there. Very difficult to land shots. Nuck going to use that bond to press the team forward. Out goes the blind, keeping that damage boost up. We saw Hulk try to make a play there. Does escape. The Exile just barely missed Vision.
How many more games are today? After this one, 2 more. You have the upper bracket.
To get a pick,
and then you have another lower bracket. The lower bracket semifinals.
Again, TEKIXD up in numbers. Waffles using
you have the upper bracket semifinals and the lower bracket semifinals.
Tap, ready to launch ults to counteract the whale and the dance. Fidel can use that invisible boundary. Great counter, but will that meteor land? And
nice block.
Good block there as they keep the pressure forward. But once again, Teki in great positioning here, shoving in with 3 minutes and 15 on. Out goes the whale. Does it get anything? No, it does not. And these trades are key. They just keep going back in TEKIXD's favor as Blur pops Cap.
Yeah, that's a nice pick on a Cap. The difficulty is right now as the wipe comes through on the Teki for Shroud X that because they protected the Doctor Strange, that meant they could not protect Luna Snow. And we all know Luna Snow, you know, that combination with Luna Snow and the Namor whale can pretty much one-shot anybody with the damage boost timing and in the Fate of the World's ultimate from Luna Snow. So because of the protection of the Doctor Strange, it resulted in them losing that Luna Snow and their backline maybe not as formidable, at least with dealing with the Psylocke, also enabling their own alongside that Namor. So that pick alone might really cost them this series, or at least this first round on defense, because of their composition sort of lacking a lot of that lethality.
That's a great point. I do love, you know, you bring it all the way back to the banning phase, and again, another slight win there for Teki, who's just finding these small advantages, forcing them to save that Strange. Really is going to be that advantage we talk about with Self, with the Panther. If they have to ban that Panther, which is, you know, maybe considered more of an off-meta or at least a more unique pick, it is an advantage. Vision going to find Avery here, though, and put it back in the favor of Shroud X, who are now finding their footing. 2 minutes on as they progress forward. Dongmin is holding on with Fidel and Impunity. Got to use these ults quickly before we see it.
Okay, I want to see a fat eye, chat. I want to see a fat eye.
And try to find something with the Meteor M and the dance, but we will see who gets value first. Ult advantage slightly up here for Shroud X.
A minute 46 seconds left. You have to admit at least that Namor on this phase of the map can get a lot of work done in his position. But here comes Tap again. Everybody playing in the the Storm Daggers and staying alive, honestly, with that shift. But with those cooldowns out now, Teki knows that it's the go time. They can maybe connect onto somebody as they've gotten Shroud his cooldowns out.
Oh man, see, like I told you, man. I told you. A lot of the strange ults are, I mean, not strange ults, mag ults are just not hitting for both teams.
Exile misses as well, and Punity just using that ult to keep himself healthy, and that's all that can be done in that moment. Buying time and stalling, but that is a win for Teki again with no picks on, with an ult as Hulk, which, you know, may not be considered strong, but we've been seeing more and more at this level of play. Hulk is very valuable, especially as you learn the animation canceled. And there goes that eye. Can they follow up the wall?
Oh, Vision!
Finds two, and that is a massive throw onto Avery and Ad.
Huge indeed. I mean, that whale in the middle just does so much damage, and now everybody else is getting cleaned up. 50 seconds left to go. Shroud X finally stringing together some fights, but TEKIXD, you know, we're entering the the end
Vision's
of
not
this
even
point. 40 seconds left
bro.
to go. Can Shroud X sort of stay strong, stay on course?
Why do people eyeing the support ults though? If you're lucky enough and you hit a good eye, you can kill people through support ults. You just gotta focus fire. Your whole team has to be shooting one person. If you guys are all shooting different people, you're not gonna have enough burst damage to go through the support ults.
Very close as well. After here comes the counter from the Meteor. They got to get back quickly. You got to protect.
Yeah, see, I think a lot of the mag ults are just like air balls.
Position to be in. That's going to buy some time, but again, Teki still heavily up in ult, and as soon as this goes down, Avery is going to pop that Ultron. Combined here with the dance of the butterfly, they find Vision. Nuck goes down. This could be it for Shroud X on the defense. Brute going to find Dongmin, and they are heavily down, and that is enough. They are going to have to stagger on a point. If that, great raindrop, but you got to get back.
I mean, he made it to spawn, but at what cost? They capped.
He had to go back to spawn to heal, but, you know, unfortunately, Shroud X gets stopped at the very end, and it was a really hard fight, like you said, Shiv. I mean, he had 4 ultimate advantage. Nuck went early with his own
Take care, Yasmin. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Especially all the cooldowns were used. Everybody trying to play in the Dagger Storm, right? Everybody trying to play together, get healed up by Nuck and also by Fidel. But because everybody's grouped up, trying to spread also out the damage of the Dance of the Butterflies so nobody goes down, it's just resulting in also Avery with that Ultron's Rage over the top side following up. So
baited goals. I appreciate the massive prime sub, my friend. Welcome.
So much throughput onto Shroud X, who are just trying to desperately
Who you cheering
stay alive. And I don't know how you really play that fight besides play aggressive.
They came alive in overtime. Who, Teki?
You don't want to give up too much space. There's so many things that you could change, and I'm sure Shroud X want to discuss that later on. But maybe it's an entire composition change as we've seen them play this triple threat.
You came back to me.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough. You can't really throw blame on anyone, excuse me, on the side of Shroud X, because you see the stat lines and they look very consistent. I mean, it's just a tough spot to be in. Teki is just on their game and they're running this composition. They feel comfortable. You're going to damage boost Avery, you're going to damage boost Tap, and you're going to run through them with these ults, which come back really quickly, and they just keep turning it around. Vision going to be making a change here to Adam, which might help a little bit with some of these very strong ults.
I thought your name said Kinky Skywalker. Oh my god.
You know, a strategist ultimate in its own right. So we'll see if that finds value.
Anakin Skywalker? Appreciate the massive prime sub, my friend.
Shroud X, completely different composition here as we now see
I'm too tired for this chat. I'm sorry.
Kella, and Punity is. Something's going to be changed here. They're probably trying to get the portal damage play with the mines. They are.
Yeah. Pull him in with the Onk. And everybody's just gone. Oh, wait, Doomed is the one to fall. Huh?
Wow. I don't even know how that happened. Yeah, I'm not even sure how that happened.
I mean, Brute's just him, I guess. I think this is just this is what we talk about. Brute, one of the best
Magneto
players
right now, Limmerman.
I mean, you talk about mental lapse there. Now they're gonna have to come back through. Doomed over to that Star-Lord though, so they're back onto that triple res composition. We've seen them play before, Shiv.
I hope Sentinels beats 100 Ds, but I gotta sleep. If you follow my second YouTube channel, it's called Jay3 I usually upload all of our reactions and chats. What do you call it? To my second YouTube channel. So if you miss it, you can go check it there if you want.
So this could be what they need to be more aggressive, to teleport play, to set up behind, the spin to win. Obviously with no bubble, still playing aggressively. Very difficult to find value in taking out a Star-Lord while he's dancing like that in the sky. So much movement because you don't need to aim. It's all about movement at that point. Vision gonna find Ad though, and that is huge. Shroud X looking like a different team right now with the aggression. Down goes Avery too. Make that 3 for Doomed, who is popping off on this Star-Lord. board, and they will.
Yeah, Sentinels plays today. They play after this. The semifinals, upper bracket.
Who is very low. Down goes Tap, and that is point 1 for Shroud X with 5 minutes on.
Yeah, they used the portal, but see, this is why I thought they were going to do this on defense. Like, honestly, I thought they were going to play the triple strategist composition. I guess maybe the match versus
yeah, I was about to say. I'm really surprised.
Feel like they are really good
none of the teams are running res comp. Like, res comp is a really good comp.
And the Luna Snow alongside.
How does that work? I thought they qualified for LAN already. They have qualified for LAN. 100 Thieves, I'm pretty sure, qualified for LAN.
On the defensive side earlier.
Yeah,
there's one more team that needs to qualify, and it's whoever wins between NB and one of these teams, I'm pretty sure.
I think they needed to use it into Techie, right? Like, it all kind of
3 NA teams go to LAN.
There to hear the thought process, but you are seeing value out of it so far. Shroud X heavily up in alt advantage. Elite after this is Impunity going to start rushing in with Cap here. Impunity obviously strong on these semi-dive Brawl heroes that get in there quickly. Cap a little more, or divey, excuse me, than Brawl, but we do see some strong play. Space taken, and now it's finally going back. Dongmin finds a ton. Down goes Tap.
Yeah, Dong. I think.
From the side of Brute to keep the team healthy. Great.
I think this is his best character for Dongmin.
To buy some time. I really thought that was going to be bigger than it was, but it was a good idea and well executed. Just great defense.
Yeah, I mean, pretty well played by them. No ultimates except Tap with his own, Dance of the Butterflies for that soul bond alongside Fidel. I mean,
I'm really curious how the first LAN of Marvel Rivals is going to go.
Okay, and here we go again. Out goes Fidel with that bond, and the downtown throw onto Nuck there.
If Sentinels and 100 Thieves qualified for LAN, how are they playing today?
They're weaving that thing under.
Because they're in the upper bracket semifinals. They're the last 2 teams in the upper bracket, where they're already invited. So then there needs to be one more team, and the one team that's going to play is going to be in the semifinals lower bracket as well. And then whoever wins that game is going to be the 3rd team, because they're playing basically for 3rd place, right?
And no value as TEKIXD comes out on top.
Or they're going to be the 3rd best team.
As well as we, potentially see the end of Shroud X if they can't find, any sort of ground. Again, another reason why in the ban phase they banned out those duelist only, why Techie is now in a great position, because they have that Magneto that you keep putting out shit, because you notice how much value Brute's getting. Also, you talk about how much that Magneto counters Star-Lord.
I'll explain it after this game. I'll explain it.
Sets up Star-Lord, so there's the fact
What's
that
up,
they have the Doctor
Matt?
Strange
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Definitely counters this comp a little bit, so it feels like Techie definitely thought of both things. They thought about the fact that you can't damage boost that Namor. Also, on their attack, they can't, shield their Star-Lord in with the blasters. So many things have resulted in TEKIXD having a large advantage here in terms of their compositions.
Yeah, I like how Techie Shroud X making a huge composition change here again, elected to no longer use the Guardians. They are going to keep Mantis on both sides for that damage boost, and that's going to be for that Ultron. Ultron dealing a ton of damage, but with that boost, it is significant. It's terrifying as it does clean up KOs like it's job, which it is. Avery using that Rage of Ultron, not able to find much. And going to counteract with a strategist ultimate. This is good for Shroud X, who still have 1 minute 40 on. Forcing out ults and not utilizing or overcommitting too much is what you need to do. As I say that, though, Nuck going to walk them right in. Doom, though, finding Avery, that damage boost, finding some value. Got to get the shield up. They do, and it does block.
Hey, I'm comfortable. What's wrong with my setup?
And here we go again. Shroud X with a full composition change is now finding a ton of value. Tap going to try to buy some time and come in again with that dance, or potentially saving it. Oh my goodness, what an exile there from Impunity.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was absolutely disgusting.
And this was so
from Impunity to stop that teleport.
Like you said, Impunity, huge exile from him in the spawn. That was massive. Also, honestly, the change to Ultron has helped them a lot. I mean, Tap has been a problem, like we've seen so far, and the fact that you're playing triple strategist alongside Ultron just makes it so these dives are not as strong necessarily from Tap. Although Shroud X, with their composition, they're going to need to get a few ultimate plays that are huge, because 2 minutes and 13 seconds on 3rd phase is not exactly a lot, especially on this map on
Come on, Shroud X, you guys can win this. At least cap it.
See another
I want Shroud X to cap this, bro.
In these things like a champion. Obviously, no damage boost besides if Fidel can get that cloak out quickly onto the back line. Here comes the Dance of the Butterfly. They are in that Dagger Storm. Very good at counteracting that ultimate. ultimate, as it does give you 55 HP per second, and the whole team stacks in there. That
I feel like Shroud X always tries to default to Hulk name more.
As a team, walking them forward again, and Shroud X now with a minute 40 on, looking pretty good as they shove in a with ult advantage. And here goes Avery with that rage. Not able to find a ton of value just yet. Dongman ready to try to get a huge Eye of Agamotto, bring it back to what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to be up in terms of one ultimate here. Can they take advantage of it, though? Everybody's going to have to group up here. Fidel trying to back up to the team. Did use that cooldown to escape, and Tap's coming up with the Dance of the Butterflies. There's not going to be a ton to deal with it necessarily just yet as Shroud X.
I mean, they have 5 ults here, chat.
As well as deal with this Freedom Charge from Lord.
They can't fuck this up. They have 5 ults.
Yeah, good play there by Nuck, walking towards the back line, not able to find any purchase yet on a pick, and the whole team of Shroud X playing very patiently, forcing out these ultimates. Now only 3 available, as Tap will be there soon for the side of Teki. Here comes everything for Shroud X. Doom.
Come on, Brute, you got this, bro.
Dongman with the eye. Dongman finds 2.
Dongman again, dude. That's Dongman is literally
out of the back line of
Doctor Strange.
And Nuck, and Doom goes down. Wow, what a trade.
Oh no, but his whole back line just died, bro.
And does do it. Oh, great exile by Impunity to escape. But wow, that was almost a Shroud X push through until Tap popped off.
Down to 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was a tough fight for them. I mean, Dongman,
Tap is the raid boss that you're gonna have to defeat.
Feels like he was the one that wanted to fall. Tap though, hiding. 23 seconds left. We're gonna have to watch that man because we've seen how good he is. Visions on the opposite side with that whale, gonna be one to watch for as well. It's gonna be Visions versus Tap. I mean, Tap on that flank. He's gonna be hiding, coming.
Chat, last fight
to both strategist players with Shroud X who have to be aware.
Last fight, chat. Oh, I thought that Captain America DC'd. I saw him running into a wall. I was like, what? Yeah, I don't know how Shroud won that with like 15 ults as well.
Right now, so it will buy time. Yeah, they do have one on. Impunity is able to make that touch happen, but down 1, traded right back there. Doom down to Avery. You gotta get the Hulk here back in form to try to fight, but no, down goes Hulk. Out goes the whale.
Wait, he just tried to
land, and that is trouble. Moby Dick just
wait.
whiffing completely. Good idea, but the shield goes out. Vision finds Blur though. Out goes the invisible boundary. Teki. Blur goes down with all. That's a tough look.
Okay, Dongman needs the carry. Dongman needs the carry right here. Watch this. He's gonna hit a fat fucking eye.
Can't counteract much as it is surprising. Tap trying to find an off-angle play, ready to touch if need be. Doom gonna.
Oh!
There's that eye. It gets frozen, and they do take it.
Wait, they capped!
It's tie it up, and we go to OT. Wow.
I think
Jay, we love your dedication to this tournament. Thank you, Jasmine.
Out of your ship. I mean,
can I get 10 gifted?
This is like genuinely like it's like. I mean, every time Shroud X in Teki, you talked about how they're
wait, Jasmine, what are you doing awake so late?
They had everything to do. They had all of the right cards there to play with, and unfortunately, Shroud X. I mean, they read it doomed out of the sky. Avery got shut down. Not enough support.
Dr. Dong, yeah, that should be his nickname.
It's the story of
Dr. Dong. Good shit, bro. Hey, that was a good stun. That was a good stun from both teams.
Both teams.
He stunned them, and then he got stunned. It was stunception.
I think struggle. It really feels that way because Teki close to finishing out Sentinels, and then in overtime Sentinels just had the most insane push, and now Teki, when they had all of the right plays, the right tools, they just lose it again. So I don't know, man. I mean, does Shroud X close it out or does Teki win? I feel like the momentum is still not in either team's side.
Yeah, I mean, this is more than a battle. This is a war. It seems like they're clutching up in the moments that you can see. You almost can feel it's like palpable. You can feel the intensity here.
Winnable, chat. Yeah, winnable. Come on, Shroud X. Don't lose 3-0, bro. I want. Oh, hey, baby.
There, 10 finals, looking really strong as well. And that's on that side of damage boost. But they are going to.
What were we talking about? Sorry, I got distracted.
In this conversation, it's all about if they can hold him here on point 1, it gives you that energy you may need to press through and try to turn this sweep around, get momentum back in your favor. TEKIXD had him there, and they are going to actually have Ad go back to the Mantis, keeping Avery juiced up here, and instead Nuck is going to be playing the Cloak and Dagger. Fidel going to be on that invis, and they are going to try to use damage boost from the Cloak play.
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, the Mantis only putting that on 1. The Terra Cape can connect onto multiple people and give your team a huge damage boost, but in terms of how they're playing right now, it's super grouped up together. Shroud X have all of the positioning. Oh, the Blur!
Wow, that is huge. Yeah, that is huge. That is a massive pick there for Vision. Now it has to be a teleport play back. I mean, 14 seconds on. It's all about the touch now. Keep the pressure on. If I'm Shroud X, walk him in a little bit. Don't let him come back and touch. But now this panic, this fear makes it so they're more vulnerable. But TEKIXD clutches up in moments like this. Shroud X needs to do the same. Keeping the pressure on. There is that Ultron drone, and the teleport almost kidnaps there. It does kidnap Dongmin, who walks through it by accident, comes back through the portal, though, is going to get healed up and use it as some sort of cover.
If Shroud X holds this, chat, I'm going to scream without the S.
Using that Ultron's Rage, all the Qs being popped as Ad does the same. Doom as well. Fidel at 90, Nuck at 89. You've got to get there to retake the point. First tick goes down for Teki. Almost second, halfway through. You don't want to let that happen. You want to make sure you can turn this around in a single tick. Tap on Division, though. Out goes the Bond. Does it keep the team up? Eternal is going to hold on, but they are down in numbers. Vision down, and Blur takes out Impunity. 2 numbers up here as we do see that invis boundary.
Oh, Dongmin, come on. No, he's by himself. He's gonna get bullied.
Was a pick there, but now it's an overcommitment of ults. You almost want to hold on when you go down like that, but it's just a tough decision because you can't decide if you can get those picks, even being down numbers, or if you need to win the next fight right outside of this garage. That is a tough look, as now Teki will be closer to ult advantage. Oh, that is a really well done job here by Teki to stay patient, even being down a number early with 15 seconds on and retaking with that teleport to take the point.
Now, overtime, gonna go to 0. Here's that portal that they come out on the other side. Ultimate's there. They do have that whale, but Blur also sitting with Diabogamoto.
Yeah, we're going to see a damage boost come out here and then the whale to follow right up just to try to get a combo wombo. But at this point, it's all about Blur with this eye. This could be terrifying. Tap is ready for another dance of the butterfly. His Cutterflies have found so much value and forced out so many ultimates, and there it goes on the entirety of the stack. They are grouping well as they do hold on. They stick inside that bubble, as you saw there. That does build that ult very quick here for Nuck, who's back at 83%.
Oh, I don't think it hit anyone.
Not enough, but you do get the cooldown out of the Namor. That could result in something later on.
Yeah, Vision still holding onto this whale, ready to make a play with it. Down, Brute not able to find value there. Teki not finding a ton here with these ults, but already Avery back here to use this Ultron. Probably going to pop soon. Impunity and Nuck. Out goes that Eternal Bond again. Vision.
That was a very risky dash across. Oh, there we go, chat. There we go. We might have to switch. We might have to flip.
And way to come back and hold this after that take, but now all the pressure's on attack. They should be.
Sorry, Kitty. Are you trying to take a nap?
Yes, they do.
There you go. There you go. This is winnable, chat. This is winnable. This is winnable. This is winnable.
I mean, Doom got picked
I'm sorry,
onto
that
Ultron, but they're able to come back through. Huge stuns, huge follow up with the whale, slows down that soul resurgence. So Tap almost played it perfectly, had the double dash away, lived.
Okay, they got this. They got this. They got this. They have to have this, chat. They have to have this.
Shroud X now over to attack. I mean, last time we seen Teki in a situation like this,
they have to have this, bro.
The map on Spider Islands. Now we move over to convergence. Maybe first points are easier to hold, but still so much pressure on both teams. Tournament life on the line for Shroud X. Teki as well. They could punch their ticket to the next round. Not to China just yet, so there's still another game they would have to play later, but a huge adrenaline dump this game is sure to be. As at the moment, Teki, you know, so much pressure on them to close out against Shroud X right now.
Yeah, I mean, heart rate's through the roof right now. That money on the line, the trip to China on the line here. These teams, somebody is not going to progress forward, is going to be taken out of the Ignite series, and I know how much it means to them. But I know there's chances for them to come back in the future as we progress through mid-season, but at this point, it's all about making history and being in China at the first ever LAN event. So I know teams want it. I can't imagine how these two teams are feeling.
Fortunately for them, I mean, there's that qualification into stage 2 is not necessary, as they would be automatically qualified. So at least there's some solace in that. But regardless, like you said, Shiv, there is so much pressure on the line. I'm just thinking of ways to potentially cope with what potentially could happen here as TEKIXD. Similar comp they played earlier. Shroud X back on that Namor again.
Yeah, Teki not going to change up this comp at all. They're finding value with Avery giving that damage boost, and, you know, throwing to this Psylocke, and tap on Psylocke is already a threat enough. Imagine that extra damage here. Shroud X already having to press in, but they are shoving them back into that corner. The height being owned there, as you see Blur try to take out Impunity. Impunity just jumping all over the place as you need to with Hulk. Out goes that. Oh, as long as you can dance as a team inside of that Dagger Storm, it's huge. You get that all quickly. Great pressure here by Dongmin, who shoves them back, and we do see the entirety of the team force backwards. Good space here by Shroud X. Impunity doing a great job jumping all over the place and diverting focus. Tap on the high ground. Here comes.
Why are you guys saying random stuff? Jay shaves his head if Shroud X wins. Jay oils up, lubes up if Shroud X wins. What?
On this hero, and there there goes that.
Was that Emily? Were you laughing?
Entire team backwards. Not even have to use too much. And ult advantage is very close here. This is going to be a huge fight. As we will see
was that you?
1,000 Qs being popped.
Yeah, I mean, these eliminations,
Emily.
maybe they can find potential staggers. Blur comes back. They needed to find those eliminations because otherwise Shroud X ultimates were built up, and like you said, here they are.
And out goes
Okay, chat. We're getting down to the final moments, man. We're getting down to the final moments.
Is going to hide everyone, and there is the match back there for the side of Doomed, who also not able to find any picks. He does force out a few, and here comes the eye from Dongman, a little bit too high. The whale.
I mean,
and take out Avery. Is that enough? Down goes Brute, and it looks like Shroud X are up by 2.
sorry, Kitty. Sorry, I forgot you're right here. I told you guys. Hey, didn't I tell you guys? Put Dongman on Doctor Strange. He does. It's Dr. Dong. It's Dr. Dong. Uh-oh, they're getting the teleport back, though. Uh-oh, chat, this is bad.
Hold on here. Gonna force out that Vision onto tap, though. Vision onto Blur. Shroud X wants to push this series farther as they are so close to taking this W. They cannot stop now. Vision onto Brew, Dongman onto Avery, and Shroud X do it. They shove through. They get the job done, and they clutch up when they need to. Unless, no, there's no chance. It's 1-1 at this point, and this is Shroud X as they take home a W.
Oh my God! Wait, did Shroud? And I think Shroud was watching the first 2 games where they lost. Shroud went AFK and didn't watch, and they won.
Need to get it. They need to get.
That's fucking insane, chat. That's insane, bro. Shroud X is on the board. Shroud X is on the board. All they gotta do is keep. All they have to do is keep Dr. Dong on the Doctor Strange. Keep Dr. Dong on the Doctor Strange, chat.
Like, what the hell? TEKIXD is a team.
Oh, he only walked away for the first 2 minutes.
They just lose grasp. They need to refocus for the next map if they want to close out versus a good team like SDX.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. I just want good games. And yes, this is a good game. We talk about the only issue with Shroud X, a ton of talent, being they need to clutch up in those moments. And we know Techi's got what it takes. They are such a strong team. I have no doubt that they're going to make this next game again super terrifying for the hearts of Shroud X, who are just trying to hold on to that dream of getting to the LAN. Wow, these plays were so back and forth. This is one of the most intense matches of Marvel Rivals I have ever witnessed. All the way through.
That was a good game, bro. That was a good game.
Was everything, and Vision finding that value early every time, especially in OT, was massive.
Absolutely. I mean, it was such an incredible game on both sides, and then towards the end, I mean, Vision just came through in that clutch right with the whale. His own teammate talked about how good he is on Namor. Definitely deserves the praise because, I mean, Vision just connected with that whale, found the pick as well with the squids. And this is what I was talking about. It actually, it sort of, it the pressure when, you know, you do get those equipment squids. Like you said, Shib, you get the gamma squids, you get the
Thank you.
squids,
were you laughing at something that I said earlier?
Pressure of having to aim, right? You just have to hit a right click.
I heard a loud noise, and I thought that was you.
So much damage. So, you know, it was hard for Tap to stay alive versus that. It was hard for the opposite side for Avery to get a lot going, especially as he was going so high. I mean, we almost saw Doomed go a little bit too far forward, but he saved that shift, got back to his team on Ultron, let Visions kind of do a lot of that dirty work, and I mean, an MVP by Dongman for sure, had a huge eye of Agamotto as well.
Oh, you want me to eat?
Yeah, if you doubted Dongman with this lock of Strange, hopefully this proves you wrong. Really well done with 11 finals. Big eye of Agamotto. The combination there with the whale. You're freezing them, you're sending their soul out, and you're putting your Moby Dick on them just to eat both sides.
You already brought it up here and cooked it. Now I gotta eat it.
OT, any pick is value, and they managed to shut down TEKIXD in that fight, and that was everything. At that point, it was just a stagger fest just to see if they could retake, but there was just no shot. When you're up that kind of numbers and you're forced to slowly trickle through that portal, there's just no way to bounce back. Oh my goodness, what a game.
Dr. Dong, chat. Dr. Dong. Does Dr. Dong do prostate exams with no hands?
Sorry, Jakey. Moby Dick, shout out. I got to shout out that song. I like it so much. But anyways, what a series it's been. I mean, Techie.
Dr. Dong is the type of doctor that would give you a prostate exam. And then he's going to put both hands on your shoulders. And you're going to be like,
I mean, you could get reverse swept.
And while he's doing the test, he's going to put
and it could very well happen again.
Both of his hands on your shoulders while he's doing the test. And you're going to be like, thank you, doctor, for doing the test. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? Wait, why is both of his hands here?
I am so invested in these games. I love seeing it tight like this. What a bounce back. Is the momentum going to shift? That's where we got to, you know, we'll see as we start this next map. But you got to remember now, Teki is going to be choosing this map. It is going to be domination, I believe, as now we've finished all 3. So we'll cycle back around.
Jay, are you okay? No, I had 5 hours of sleep. I've been streaming
what map is chosen.
30 hours the past 2 days.
Board, see where they played best, and I mean, they could really play anywhere. I think a lot of these maps they've played solid on. Shroud X usually does win on domination, and maybe they could utilize some of that advantage that they finally could get some momentum moving back forward. But we'll see, man. I mean, Shroud X are potentially could do it, right? And this is definitely the series you want to tell your friends about. You talked about how an incredible series this has been. I think it's incredibly intense, I imagine, for the viewers, for you guys watching at home. This has got to be definitely one of the most intense games of Marvel.
I feel like Dogman in Another Life could be like
what it's like
the
to
next
be a player
Eminem
in this case. For Shroud X and Teki, they're both sweating probably for sure. Make sure you guys are staying tuned into the stream, getting those Twitch drops on Magic. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break.
Okay, chat, there's a little short break. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Shroud X took a map back, and we have a series on our hands, folks.
Absolutely, an insane series, Shib, and man, 2-1. We've said a lot in this series, and I don't know what else needs to be said besides getting game. You know what I mean? Like, we just got to get casters, get the game going. Let's get in there because, man, I just want to see this next one. I mean, it's literal cinema right now, and you got to tune in. If you have friends interested in this game, maybe you want to check out Marvel Rivals for the first time, haven't seen a hero shooter just yet, now is their opportunity to watch the esports scene at its peak for sure in terms of intensity, right? I think we've seen an incredible set of games so far. I mean, day one was also cinema. Every day has been awesome in these playoffs in North America. Make sure you guys are tuning in to watch Cozy and Vicky alongside in their cast, as well as everybody behind the scenes. So many people have done a great job, as well as the co-streamers, so shout out those guys, because right now, I mean, nothing else needs to be said except head into map 4 for an incredible banger of a series between Shroud X and TEKIXD.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. You talk about just the adrenaline. You want to get in there and play. I'm with you. My adrenaline's pumping, and I'm just watching. I can't imagine the comms in these rooms between these teams. You know, a lot of them maybe not linked up there for a boot camp, but over the web, just the amount of yelling has got to be so exciting here. Shroud X going to try to move with that momentum. The reverse sweep is on the table, but Teki, an incredibly strong team. That banning phase was slightly different, allowing Ultron through on both sides, but it's seemingly, you know, it's difficult to match them up together in terms of what Ultron got more value, but it was very much a factor, especially with that damage boost.
Early protect to the Doctor Strange could be a factor, as we said, with that mag ban, forcing maybe that out later on could also allow them to play that Captain America still. So maybe Teki focusing on Vanguards this time. Shroud X understanding that. I mean, they have to have that flexibility to switch between them. You know, I'm curious to see what they do. And you know what? The fact that we had to burn into T'Challa, you know, I think for the side of Teki, the Luna ban was great.
Are you scared of that?
And I think you got to kind of stick with that, honestly, because
okay, let's get this.
I mean, I would not be surprised if Shroud X wants to run that Namor stuff.
Oh, who's kicking ass? What's up, Dad? What's up? What's up?
For Shroud X to play something else.
It's a good tournament right now. Good tournament. Good tournament. Both teams are kicking ass.
Burn into T'Challa is one of the best maps for the Namor Hulk composition. We'll see what Teki does. I think, you know, they did deal with it well when they had that Bucky, but regardless, it is really good on this map.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I'm
all good today. I hope you're feeling good today, Dad.
Yet, as it is so common, you know, they're willing to run anything, and that Shroud X is one of those teams that they have so much in terms of their roster, in terms of what they can pull out, and down goes that Luna, like you mentioned, happening there. But still going to be Hulk and Namor available. They are going to have Ultron available again on both sides, at least so far, as we get into the final ban here from Shroud X. So
2 games left, Dad.
I think the bans have definitely changed, and I think Shroud X has found a comp that works. But we know Teki always plays aggressively.
You got to put Dr. Dong on the thing, chat.
These aggressive vanguards, and
you got to put him on Doctor Strange.
Constantly getting MVP, just looking really good out there.
As a dad, it's cool as shit that your dad comes in and checks up on you during stream. That's really cool. Oh, my dad's amazing, man. My dad's my #1 supporter.
I mean, I guess the real answer.
My dad sometimes comes on stream and plays games as well.
Stuff again is, you know, go back to that Bucky stuff, right? It feels like the Bucky was shutting down the Hulk. A lot of the value Infinity was finding was negligible.
I want to be like your dad for my son.
Really change on domination, I suppose, and also same thing like Convoy and Convergence. You kind of want to stick with the composition. You know, keep up that snowball.
Tim checks up on you.
Feel pretty confident with that.
Nah, Tim only checks up to see if I'm eating.
But it doesn't necessarily feel like Shroud X were hard countered by that comp as well. Regardless, heading into Burn into T'Challa, the second Wakanda map of this series, I mean, it's anybody's game still. Like, I feel like the slight changes in composition could really impact the overall look. And, you know, both teams, I'm sure, are going to roll out with something interesting but familiar.
Yeah, and we see that, again, the percentages shift again. They were on Techie side heavily in the last map. Now, back with Shroud X, but look at that number, roughly even. You got fans on both sides. This is intense. Dongmin getting that strange lock on lock 1 is, honestly, I would have expected it after that performance.
Only 2 teams left in the tournament. 2 more matches. 2 more matches. After today, there's going to be...
a little bit slept on.
By the way, that's Blade's bed.
8 teams in total. 4 for each. 4 for each region.
Headed your house, Shib.
NA and EMEA.
You know what I mean?
I know. Left the boy. He's got his friend there. He's got the Black Panther with the eyes, with like freaking out like that.
I'm
Black
sorry
Panther
to hear
saw
that
the last map.
screenwriter.
I mean, he's just like absolutely raging after that one.
Yeah, what we talk about a lot here is they do break the center of this map if you're running flyers right now. They're not going to be doing that.
It's definitely not easy.
Avery, at least Shroud X won't want to, as Avery's going to be the only one in the sky at this point with Ultron. But Blur going to be on the Venom, and we see Brute back on that mag consistently sleeping right now from the Mantis. Mantis, again, they are running that damage boost. They actually have the full Guardians comp here. They want Doom to pop off, and they do allow through the bubble. And that combination is terrifying. Spin to win with the bubble. So you will see Impunity consistently throwing that bubble on Doomed.
Well, and we're seeing them play the triple comp as well for both sides, and I figured maybe Shroud X could benefit from playing this Namor stuff, but didn't want to play against the Bucky. So it's interesting that they did play that. Regardless, now here comes that Eternal Bond. Ultimates have been built. Only 1 elimination in the sky, though. Dude, nice tracking.
Yeah, great work there by Doomed. I mean, that was disturbing. Just not missing a single shot.
You put a bag
and then
down
spinning
there
to finish it off as Doomed finds Brute.
There was a bag next to the garage.
Blaster Barrage is so, I mean, it's so valuable. Everyone knows it, but if you don't, for those who may be climbing ladder,
come on, Shroud X.
Using that Blaster Barrage, use
you put that down there today, right?
You know, your meter of flight, because you can actually use that flight during the animation of the Blaster Barrage and kind of take any sort of Z-axis direction, use that ascend and descend, and just consistently juke. It is so hard for the enemy to hit you, especially if you have a bubble, and you get alt charge incredibly quickly. And at this level, you'll see them doing it all of the time.
And I'm dumb, by the way. Completely flew over my head that Magneto went through, resulting in these bubbles coming through on the Doom in the sky. Able to get so much value on Magneto, blocking the sky, the Meteor on the other side on Brute.
And Doom goes up, just buying time at this point. Not going to get a ton of value there, but it does, you know, give them some time on point. 36, and here comes, they do a great job at using that Dagger Storm to counteract, but Ad still finds Dongmin through that. So at this point, they're just going to hold the point for as long as possible and then reset together. 44 on the clock right now. Avery, oh, here comes the res. Dongmin's back, and they're going to potentially
Envy plays again tonight.
Very valuable. This pick,
the winner of this, the winner of this series.
Remember, when you're on Warlock, your body is the beacon for the res. It's not the location of where you put the beacon. It's actually where your body is. So walk in after the fact, and if your team falls, you'll be able to bring them back. That is a tough look there. Throwing that.
Come on, Impunity. You're gonna get blocked by something that's not moving. You're better than that.
There, it's gotta hurt, but 66 already for the side of Shroud X.
And they're still alive. They come back through Eternal Bond. They're building up all that point, and that was Vision, you know, with that huge res ranked on the bottom left. You saw him slowly sort of walk away from the point. Resurrect Dom, bring him back into the fight. Now they have Agamotto after Wolfo's ultimate is gone.
Here goes that eye. It does not find a lot of value. Dongmin
he loves that thing.
He last map and nothing there. Not going to res back up, and still
he cuddles it.
All that matters
he
right
fights,
now is
he fights
this point. They're not too worried about it. Doom goes up in the sky. Brood going to find Vision though. Vision may not have that res back. We'll find out shortly. If so, there goes Doom with that spin. This is what
I love the duck too.
The flight just juking everywhere. Very difficult to hit tap on.
Oh really? What happened?
After the res, so the res does come through, and another pick has now Avery.
Yo, Cats. I appreciate the massive 6 months and the kind words, my friend. Come on, come on. It doesn't matter, chat. Listen. They lost one fight. They got it to 99. All they got to do is come back, one fight,
Sometimes
win.
you have to be that sacrificial
They got
lamb
this.
if your Vision, you know, on that Adam Warlock took the brunt of that damage from Brute in that Meteor M, resulting in him going back in that cocoon to come back. But they're switching off of it. Now they're going back over to that Namor composition. I figured, you know, they were doing good actually with Doomed on that Star-Lord, to kind of let the Doomed carry sort of angle on that Star-Lord. But now they're back over to this character, onto that Namor, just building up a whale, considering they only need to win one fight. We've seen this with like sort of Storm and Jeff combination with the Eat. You know, nowadays we see it kind of with this Mantis now alongside that Namor with Doomed on that Ultron.
And here we go with the engagement again. Blur, oh, kind of messing it up there. Tries to get the dive. He's going to use that ult, but right into the shields. It does actually wait a little bit. It does go through, but that combination ultimate essentially wasted, as it does actually, Fidel does force out the bond at least, but that shield from Hulk and Punity, incredible timing, honestly, almost negating 2 ultimates, and then allowing Fidel to ult on to point. Shroud X has found their rhythm, and there is that change, as we're talking about, to that composition they run so well. Vision back on the Namor, and Teki just does not want to seem to ban this thing out, but it's all about this next fight, as we do have the whale available. Dongmin with the Eye of Agamotto, that combination, seen a ton of value so far. Tap finds
Come on.
Doom, though, who is
Come on.
now also on
Come
the
on,
Ultron,
Dr.
and
Dong.
this is
Come on,
looking like
Dr.
Teki
Dong. Oh, he's
will
running
hold
over
on
there.
The whale goes out, does not land, but it is
Does he hit? Does he hit? Does he hit? Does Dr. Dong hit?
I don't believe it does.
No, chat.
But they do have point. Yeah. That's a good call.
They flipped the point, but it doesn't really matter because they're still winning the fight. Apologies for that shit. Didn't mean to ruin the flow.
Oh, you're good, brother.
At least they flipped the point. That's really good, because that means Teki never got any. Teki didn't get all that percentage, so that's good.
In the middle of a round, and also with how Teki was playing around that you saw. I mean, they zoned out that whale.
Yeah, Teki. Now Teki has 5 ults, man. I don't know, Chad. It started off really strong for Shroud, but
avoids that center area, and there's no Lunastone in the game. It makes it a lot easier to kind of deal with that damage.
Avery again starting off here with Ultron's Rage. Going to look directly, and you can kind of see how tanky that Gamma Squid is. It is tough to take down, but that is a huge combination. There's that combination they were looking for before, as both Blur and Tap all combo up. 85 on now, and now TEKIXD with a reverse sweep in terms of point percentage, gaining their way through. Will they be able to touch with the teleport?
what's up, Rippin?
I think they just used it too, right? So
No,
there's
this is
point
bad,
play
bro.
here
This
now,
is
and
bad. They started
have to
off
send
so
him Beauty
strong.
to touch, but he's going to go into Bruce Banner form, and you know that unfortunately.
At least they touched. At least they touched, but they lost a player for that. That's bad.
Second. Here he comes. Overtime ticks down. Do they have ultimate? Shroud X not even close to anything. So I mean, they're just funneling in. No Adam Warlock to bring back that Star-Lord. It's just 1 by 1.
Wow, they're actually committing. They're committing ults, and there's only 3 of them there.
But at this point, it seems inevitable, like Thanos, Brute, and Ad holding on his Ad now.
I don't know if they should have. Wait, they got another ult out. That's good.
First map win. Teki with a nice patient composition.
No, man.
Takes out Fidel.
Any teams that know, any teams that you know, no, Dad.
Yeah, I feel like that was not a good idea to switch to the Namor comp. I don't know. Like I liked it at the very beginning for sure, but maybe not halfway through.
I'm telling you, hey, I'm telling you, bro. Shroud X lives and dies by the Namor comp, bro.
Bro, Doomed on Star-Lord.
Thank you, Riven.
Bro,
Shroud X started so strong, man.
There's got to be some reason in the comms. Maybe Doom not feeling totally comfortable in the Star-Lord, understanding the Meteor M's always a problem. There's a lot of things I'm sure going through Shroud X's head as they lose that first round, which is a solid map for the Namor. But you can see what happens when teams are prepared, ready to go against that Namor Squid, Namor Whale, especially when you have Tap on the other side. 23-0. Man didn't die a single time. Wow. On top of 8 elimination or final hits.
Yeah, that's disgusting. But I'm with you. Like, why change the game? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was working really well for you guys, and you were holding on tight all the way to 99, and then come back with a switch comp. I just don't think it was necessary, as they were playing so well with it. As we do see the complete return in competition here.
Well, they're getting off the Magneto now. Now they're on to that Captain America. I mean, it makes sense if you want to go for dives and stuff, but man. They're really messing with Impunity's hero pool right now because he's done the Hulk, he's done the Magneto, he's gone to a lot of stuff. We'll see what happens, but TEKIXD, ultimate advantage now. Shroud X understanding that probably maybe want to win this in this neutral.
Yeah, we will have vision soon. It's very difficult to get a ton of value with Warlock until the later fights when it gets a little more hectic, especially early on like this. You're not going to just pop that thing off the rip. And Nuck holding on to all Dongmin with the Eye of Agamotto. Will that get value? Avery just pumping out damage, breaking down shields, and locked back into a corner. There's that Eye, and that is big. Can they collapse? Dongmin gets a 3-piece, an absolute beast here with the Eye of Agamotto. And that's how you need to start this map if you want to start getting some charge and progress forward with an advantage.
And the first fight win, we've seen it before. Can they do it again? Everybody sent back to spawn on TEKIXD side. Shroud's going to win the point. I am tomorrow in comparison to Brew with that Meteor M. The damage negated for Shroud X now. They have to come back in. Meteor M is gone. Doomed should have a free ultimate after Shroud X's ultimates are gone. But Tapped with the Dance of Butterflies is always scary to look out for. Fidel going to have to watch that.
7,
also,
8,
Tapped
9,
can maybe get a one-shot even
10, 11,
before these Shroud X's ultimates are popped. But the Resurrects are always a thing you have to worry about with the Atom Guardians composition.
Yeah, I think right now
right
he's just on the jump on the Luna position and just distract, very similar to how Blur is handling the back line here. But the difference is when you have Warlock with Bond available, if you have that sleep ready from Nuck, it is far more difficult. Yes, there's the freeze and the sleep as well, but Warlock Bond is by far one of the best counters to any sort of dive positioning. And here goes the spin to win by Doom, obviously without the shield. Blur finds vision there. Rez likely is up, hasn't seen that fall, and there's that Rez Nuck on the Brute, back on his composition. Things are looking up again for Shroud X, who are holding on to the point. Woofles with the dance floor, and there goes Tap, who finds value.
Yes, there is more games tomorrow, Prey. It's going to be the lower bracket finals and then the upper bracket finals. Basically the grand finals.
Warlock, Rez, Dongman with Eye again and Nuck, and it looks like Shroud X are back on their game, feeling confident again as Brute is going to actually cancel that TP and elect to not use it.
Well, yeah, that cooldown still gets used too, right?
Yep.
So
3 minutes.
I don't know. I mean, like, it was tough because any elimination Shroud X finds is massive. No resurrects for TEKIXD, right? So Blur going down. I believe it was Brute also falling. A lot of these, even one elimination matters because if you trade out an Adam Warlock who has the res, that matters. Look at Impunity, by the way, lurking over the top, ready to go for a dive onto the back line.
Alt advantage again, Shroud X, Brute.
What time? EU starts at 12 p.m.
Back into the fight he goes.
And NA starts at 7 p.m.
You call it out that you got to pick. You find out the hard way that you did not in the grand scheme of things. Avery got to get walked on here by Mantis. Nuck playing hyper aggro. Take that space because you can be very aggressive and deal a ton of damage when you have the right person on that. Mantis doomed. Gonna find Tap, and that's a huge early pick. Make that 2. Make that 3. That's doomed. And 4, soon to be 5. What a piece here, trying to get point 3, and they will not have teleport, so that should do it for point 2, map 2, and it's gonna be tied up going into the final map.
That's exactly how I feel. That Black
Come on,
Panther,
Shroud. Come on, Shroud.
Separated.
They can take it to a match 5, chat.
Next round.
They can.
This is what I was talking about.
Take it to a match 5. This is a really good game.
The Mantis comps against Triple Stratus, Ultron Mantis alongside.
Oh, thank you, Jay. I am gay as hell for you. Keep up the look. Appreciate it, my friend.
Third support, Cloak and Dagger. It could be Luna Snow. It could be Loki. Whatever. The biggest problem is that you're just giving up all of that res potential. You're unfortunately on the Mantis, for as good as it is, like you get so much damage. If you find a pick, it doesn't matter sometimes because 3 people can just resurrect back in the fight and you're just giving up that entire team up by not playing the Atom. I get why. I mean, I've seen in other regions they play that sort of stuff and I like it, but I feel like nowadays it just feels like the Adam Warlock Guardians comp, it just beats out Triple Strategist if you don't have it on your side. But we saw on Convoy and stuff, it's a little bit different because it's harder to set up those res locations and stuff, but yeah, at least on Domination it feels like the Adam Warlock comp kind of beats it out. Now Teki changing things up entirely. They got that Bucky out, they got Avery on that comfort pick, like he did so well on before.
Yeah, good call. I mean, it worked for him last time. Ooh, aggressive teleport, maybe a kidnap play. They are going to elect to go back to the beginning, try to find somebody. You should say the name that said that, but fuck man.
Thanks.
They are going to heavy commit. Can they find something? They do. Impunity onto Avery. What a play here by Shroud X. Going to have to return back to point shortly, shoving it back in the spawn door, make that 2 as they're going to walk down the rest. 4 seconds before the portal can even be gained. Doomed. Going to try to spin here, but Tap does not miss. You got to be careful up there. Good return back to the point, and what a play by Shroud X.
Come on, Shroud X. I hope they take this. I hope they, as strong as Teki is, because we know Teki's a strong team. They already won 2 in a row. I want it to be a close game, chat. I mean, Tap and Avery and Blur and Brute are, and the whole Teki team is fucking popping off. I just want to root for the underdog. Whoever's losing, I want to root for.
You have Avery now on Bucky. They have to deal with that quick reset.
Yeah, I mean, alt advantage for Shroud X again. Actually, it's going to get tight here for Teki, who is slightly behind Avery, getting there as well. Here comes the dance of the butterfly and the bubble out, keeping the team inside of that. And Tap still finds Fidel. That is a crazy pick. Surprised that came through. Well played as Blur used the clobbering time to help that out. The Born again goes out. They're just trying to stall. Great eye of Akamoto again, but down goes Dongman after the fact. And it is going to be counteracted. The whole team resing back in. Just buy time on the point. Try to get as much time on as we are at 43%. And Teki is going to lose that dance floor soon. Impunity, great pick onto Ad. Vision onto Avery.
What happened, bro? They suddenly, I think it's the res comp. They just got to play the res comp. The res comp is what's working.
Yeah, I don't even think Shroud X expected to get that kill, that KO on to add. I mean, he was just on the back of the point. He was about to ult, and then, I mean, just take it, right? Fidel committing that ultimate. Maybe didn't even need to, but regardless, now into this next fight, Ad will have ultimate.
I'm pretty sure ResComp might need to. Yeah, it might go season 3.
But we are now at 70% of the point on Warrior Falls, and right now Shroud X are in the lead to keep moving forward on this tournament.
I think I'm going to stand for the remainder of the
Yeah, now it's a little
tournament.
chess game. Do you want to use that legend to pull out the Meteor M? Yes, you do, apparently. Ooh, good bubble.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
was
I don't
almost an
wanna walk, though,
insane
because if I walk,
position
then
there
I'm
on the
like-
pick. Out goes the Meteor right to the back line, but I believe Bond was out. Nobody taking much damage. Might have been a shield there from Dongmin. They are owning this position again. Doom's going to go in here and try to spin, but 48 HP. Good juking.
Slides?
Look at
No,
that
I don't think
movement.
I'm
It
gonna
is
fuck with
insane. Back onto the point again.
I
but
should,
down
though.
goes 2. Make that 3 as TEKIXD is now stepping up. Not going
He
to
likes
res
to
up,
do
just trying to
that.
hold the point. Doom going to res
Last time
up.
he was over there, I heard a
Here goes
windows key.
Tap again. Avery, Tap, Ad, and Blur cleaning up the rest of Shroud X in taking the point, but 99%. It is a one-fight game here for Shroud X.
Yo,
All right, so
I
like
hope
you
Shroud
called
X
out,
doesn't do what they
Doom
did on the
not
first
both
point,
use their
chat,
passive
and
vision
lose it
cancel
all.
his, so he'll still have that up for this next
Thank
fight.
you.
Also, we'll have Res
You're
up.
amazing.
But I mean, what is Shroud X going to do, right? Not switch to the name war comp. That's already step number 1. Step number 2, now walk to the point. They have to kind of come back. They will be against double duelist ultimates. Dogman's big before, but sometimes
Nice
he does
Jinx
go a little
Jay.
bit
No,
too
I call it
aggressive
right now.
with
All
these
my money is on
auto
Shroud
picked
X,
off.
chat. All my
I'm gonna
money.
call out because
House.
Vision, when you have that res available
Like,
still,
the car.
you can actually use it to take flight
My
and
cats.
heights. You can actually fly up to one of those high ground peaks. That
Shit,
maybe
you know what?
are
I'll
not
even
getting
put
looked at,
Emily
and
on the
then
line
you
now.
start your res. So great decision there to hold on as out goes Cap. Oh, what a shot there by Avery. Down goes Doom. That is an early start here for Teki, who are at 41% and climbing.
I'm gonna put my hairline on the line, too.
Does find a few. Avery turns it around.
No, they're not winning this fight. Avery's popping the fuck off. That was a nice play by Teki.
And they still did not overcommit off of the entirety of the team is rezzed up during that.
Oh, big res by Vision.
Reset still, and there goes a tap. The Bond is out to buy some time. Wow, I cannot believe they held on through those ults as Teki committed everything. Vision still finds Blur. Wow, Shroud X with a retake. 2 go down. Fidel has the eternal bomb.
Chat,
That will come out
we
soon,
are
too.
going to a
Again,
match
Shroud X
5.
looking like they're gonna push this to the final game, and what a series as we do get shoved in. The teleport might come through here for Blur though, and they.
I put my hairline on the line, and now that shit's gonna come back. Watch.
Game 5.
Watch, in about a month, my hair's gonna be like full and
that's
everything.
all in for them as well.
Wait,
I
if
was
we
a
do
little
go to
worried
China,
because I
we
believe
fly over
Doomed
Turkey,
as
no?
well wasn't a part of that res because he went down earlier on, got picked. His res timer went off, so he was back in the spawn and he didn't have the passive. So maybe Doom didn't want to commit it at that point, or sorry, Vision.
Why
didn't
is there a
want to commit it,
guy right
understanding
next to
maybe
me
that they
in my
didn't
old
need to
school
use
RuneScape
it for that
called
Star Lord.
Testicle?
And it was actually a smart play, like you mentioned. They stayed up, they stayed together, they come back through with Shroud X ultimates. They also commit that soul bond to stay alive and able to come back through, play patient, and that's exactly what you need to see out of a team right now against a team like TEKIXD, who is formidable. So now we're going to match number 5. I want to see where we get taken to.
Jay,
because
come to China. My
currently,
friend
I
is
mean,
playing
TEKIXD,
in
XD,
China Ignite.
they've been on
Nice.
the
Did he
back
make
foot,
it?
And it's every time it
Thank
feels
you.
like they're right
Are you
there,
going
Shib.
downstairs?
Every time it feels like Techi's about to close out on
it's fine.
Shroud X,
I'm gonna
and
take this
then
downstairs.
they just lose grip again, man. So map number 5.
I hope.
need to see
Chat.
something,
I
some
think.
life
I
out of
think the
them, because
problem
that
with
was
this is
kind of
that
brutal to see at points.
Teki knows that they're winning with the res comp. I think they might ban the res comp. What
What
Shroud needs to do is stop playing the Namor, stop doing that shit, call it a GG on the Namor and the Hulk, and start playing the res comp. Save the res comp. That's what they need to
At the
do.
top here for the side of Blur, the next closest on the opposition at
That's what they need to
22,
do.
and 20 after that, and then you get into the teens. It is all about the reses with that composition and just winning the
Are you gonna
long
get
game. It doesn't
that
matter
hair
if you
treatment
fall,
or
as
leave
long
it
as
as
you're
it?
patient
Chat,
and
I'm not
calm,
getting a
and
hair.
that is where
Listen,
this
if I go
level of
bald,
play
I go
comes
bald,
into
chat.
fruition.
Oh,
It's
no, I'll go
all
downstairs.
about can
No,
you
it's a
stay
break.
calm. And look at this
So
all
you
here
already
from Dom, and this was a
cooked
massive
and brought it
loss,
up
3
here.
go
You don't
down.
need to. Last year.
Absolutely. I mean, Dongman really put the team on his back at points.
Okay,
Went
chat,
on
give me
that
a second.
Dr.
There's gonna be a
Strange,
break. I'm gonna
just creating
take down
so
my
many
dishes
ultimates,
from dinner and
finding so many
I'll
perfectly
be right
timed
back.
ones as
And then I'm
well.
gonna stand.
And that's a good call out. You know, I think that these stat watchers potentially is the way I like to call it. Just sometimes stats don't matter, guys, especially when we're playing this triple strategist composition. You know, it's not all about the stats. It really isn't. And you know, you're supposed to get a lot of eliminations when you're running a 2-2-2. You're supposed to do a lot of damage on Bucky on Shroud X's side, when you're playing that triple Guardians composition that's based around Resurrects, it's fine going down. I mean, finding only one elimination is huge in that composition. So that's honestly why, I mean, if you looked at ranked and stuff, when you play certain comps and you see certain things, especially on like dive, if you have like a Wolverine player who's maybe not doing that well, sometimes that character doesn't farm the stats. It's just all about the impact at the certain moments and finding those crucial fight wins alongside crucial picks at the right timing. So, you know, there's a lot of things that impact the game. So if you're a stat watcher, you're probably not exactly the best of the game, and you probably should maybe focus on your own gameplay instead of your teammates.
Couldn't agree more. Stats don't tell the story. You got to think about things like, you know, you look over at the Thing, right? He's not necessarily going to get a ton of final hits. His real value is shutting down and protecting with that damage reduction and using that Yancey Street to stop movement, right? And that's not going to be reflected on the stat board. And that, you know, every game, every story is not told through stats. It's far more told through game and team play, which is so difficult to look at until you watch the VOD or the review. So really well played. Again, like we talked about, 6 finals almost across everyone on the side of Shroud X. But I am excited to see if that'll be banned out. Will Guardians comp come back, or will it be taken away right after this break? And it went the distance like we drew it up. Scriptwriters, take it easy. Who takes home this W, progresses forward, and gets even closer to the LAN event?
Well, I think it's up in the air right now. If I had to make a bet, it would be on Shroud X. But to be honest, I mean, Techies had so many maps to sort of think things out, maybe like rediscover what they need to play versus Shroud X. Because I mean, the Bucky stuff is great.
Okay,
it's
chat.
just maybe not as good versus the
we're good.
the Adam Warlock. I think also if we move on to Convergence, I mean, it could be better. like I wouldn't mind it necessarily if we go to Convoy / Convergence that you play that Bucky stuff against the Adam Warlock comp, or let them play it. But realistically, we just can't let them get the Magneto. We can't let them get the Cap. There's a lot of tanks I think that are in the game. Regardless,
I have a very weird
sure
question.
Doom does not
Is it weird that I walk downstairs
and
then when I come upstairs and come to my table, there's just
could say it was that, but
like
I just
wine just suddenly appeared? Is that weird?
Like one trick necessarily, but I think he's one of the best Star Lords in the game more so.
I don't know how that happened.
That's his best hero.
I mean, I remember
That's what we
pouring
play best
something, but it
around.
wasn't
Even
mine.
if we're not the best like Guardians comp players, Visions had some really good reses. I think he on the Adam Warlock popped off. The whole team played well around it. It does feel like we just need Doomed on that Star Lord right now, and if it doesn't work out, whatever, right? That's a part of the game. Sometimes things don't pan out.
And this is what's so interesting in best of 5. It seems like they tested all these different compositions into this team, and this team, you know, they definitely have variability as well. But
also, the reason it took a long time is I went to the bathroom, then I went downstairs to get the wine. And what do you mean? I thought this was a Christian stream. Hey, well, first of all, don't you like do first communion and get bread and then you take a sip of and it's wine? But anyways, there was a spider in the house. Emily wants to put the spider outside and be nice to the spider because she said the spider doesn't want to be in the house and whatnot. And I say kill the spider. Which one would you guys do? Kill the spider, right?
Solid whenever you played the Magneto.
Fuck spiders. I hate spiders.
It kind of makes sense. I think both teams don't want to play against that hero. Priority bans coming out through. We saw a Loki ban, I think, come through from Shroud X later on as the Mag is protected.
You kill the spider, chat.
Teki.
You kill it.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I don't think we're going to see a protection here of the Guardians because, I mean, unless they want to force out some bans, but it's almost just a guaranteed return ban. If you lock in, you know, say you want to keep Adam right here immediately, you're going to see Mantis or Star-Lord taken off the field, so it's just not necessarily worth it. But if it does squeak through, it's absolutely worth the run. I'm with you. Oh, yeah, of course. Dongman's going to get that Strange back, which found a ton of value over these last 2 games, locking in that Strange. Felt more comfortable, was not afraid to admit it, so that's a good time to keep that hero.
Listen,
I think it looked like
okay, let's see what's going on here, chat. So far, what I'm witnessing is they're doing the same ban, same saves. They're saving, you know, Dr. Dom.
Considering how Avery is pretty strong on that hero. Loki bans on both
what
sides.
I am seeing from Teki is Teki is not banning the res comp.
The Luna ban surely going to come through from Teki again.
I think Shroud X is going to look like they're not playing the res comp, but they're secretly going to play it.
I'm with you, and I'm a little surprised. I mean, the final one here might change things up. I would.
They're going to ban either Adam Warlock or Mantis. Watch this, chat. Adam Warlock or Mantis. I'm calling it right now. Watch this.
Who else is a bigger threat for this team? I guess Luna.
I told you. They're banning Luna.
But I guess they do.
God, I'm so smart.
Going into Guardians, like you said, into something like Convergence, because, you know, those picks are easier to understand. When you're in domination and there's reses happening all over the place, it's hard to track. But when you have more of a paced fight and teams are resetting far more because you don't have to hold the point all the time, it is easier to track. So I'm with you that it may be more valuable and they may not need to ban it out here.
Yeah, the difficulty is Luna is good, but, you know, is it worth playing against what Shroud X are trying to do with the Mantis and the Cloak and Dagger anyway? I mean,
okay, you know what?
Feels like their comp is pretty solid on the opposite side, and we already knew they would play the thing on the for the side of TEKIXD. Maybe go for some of these fastball special plays that we've heard about from other teams and how strong that can be. So we know that comp is very good.
Okay, chat,
sure.
you know what I'm doing?
Also, Avery
this is the last game, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm standing.
So, I mean, whatever's going to happen, you got to lay it all on the table here as we enter a map.
I don't know why they didn't ban the res comp.
Either of these teams further in the tournament. If you don't win today, you are going to be eliminated from Ignite.
I don't know why they didn't ban the res comp, but we're about to see.
Side, which is going to be a super hard game at the end of today, I believe. So we still have 2 more games left, and this one, I mean, this one definitely matters.
You have to stand. This is a very intense game, man. This is a very intense game.
Every single team in Marvel Rivals Ignite.
Damn, people were voting for Teki to win, and now since the reverse sweep's happening, look, I told you they're gonna play the res comp. They didn't ban the res comp, bro. Put me as a coach. Put me as a coach, man. My brain is I'm like Jimmy Neutron out here, bro. I just brain blasted everywhere.
Trying to get their money back after losing. You know, it's like they're like, oh no, I bet on the wrong team. Gotta go back the other way. To be honest, Shib, I would not be confident in either team right now. Like both teams, I am nervous for.
If any team out there needs a coach, just hire me. I just want $50,000 a month.
And good tackle back into Dongman. Dongman trying to escape. Good movement there. Likely to see a bond? Maybe not. As they do press in, the bond goes out, I believe, buying some time there, but what a play. You talk about that fastball special and its value, and clearly showed some value there, already at 100 charge there for the Wolverine, which can be so threatening up close.
Yep, another one available, ready to go. Doom comes in. Blasters above, I mean, bubbling in that thing as well, trying to create a lot of space in the backline, build up to those ultimates. Who's close? Avery's passive popped. Looks like only the Shroud X is going to be up on ult, says nobody's going down until now. Oh no, Avery falls.
Yeah, that's a good start here. Obviously, a ton of your resource in terms of damage is on Avery. Tap trying to find an off-angle play here. Just going to buy some time, stay invisible in an off-angle, and retake with the team later on. A ton of movement. And
don't worry, honey. I do this. I do the same stuff. I can't.
Lock, just so far back. If you look at you can see the shadow through the screen in the back there, just waiting it out. But now the retake will be coming in, and Tap is going to do his best to try to find one of these strategists in that alleyway, and that could be a huge problem. And they are not expecting it. And here comes the ultimate. That's going to buy them some time. Fidel getting that ult incredibly quickly. Internal bond, one of the fastest ult gains in the game.
And on the opposite side, ultimates popped.
Thank you, Jaeger.
Clobbering time from Blurry, connected onto both Strategist, but in fact, Blur's the one to go low, saved by the Strategist. Ayabagamoto is here. No eliminations found just yet, but the Kraken impact from Avery's there. Is anybody going to fall get the reset?
Now that was more of a defensive Ayabagamoto. That was a slow down pace, and I don't hate that. I think that's a decent decision, especially
Dongman, Dr. Dong, impunity
as well. That's a double strat line pick, and that's very important.
Tap
right back
Vision.
On and Vision says not my strategist, takes out Tap right after, and Nuck just gonna have to use that passive and rest right back.
And I think right now, this Bucky is not doing enough.
Jay, I thought Cloak and Dagger is the worst healer in your opinion, but it looks like every pro team plays her.
Is either Brute just goes absolutely insane on the back.
I mean, the
Tap now over to the Wolverine. Interesting. So they're going for that full damaging composition. The tough part is Tap was doing so much on side.
I think one team. I think Techie banned. I have to see what they banned.
You can do now, but maybe that's the switch they need.
I think Cloak and Dagger is not a bad support when you have
very good at countering ults without having
Magneto banned.
But still gonna find Tap through it, and that's a huge start as Tap now on the Wolverine, no longer gonna be running the side lock as Bucky on the Avery. There is that slight switch for those who maybe missed it. We are gonna see just Doom just owning this height. You can see that energy he's using of his booster packs is just very minimal, constantly canceling it to make sure they can escape when need be. That is a huge lesson to learn if you are playing Star-Lord. Oh, and that is just crazy, that movement with the fastball special.
It looks a chat full hold. Full hold.
I think it's over for Techie. A minute left. I mean, anything's possible.
No, Techie almost has all their ults. Oh shit, Shroud X almost has all their ults. Chat, we're about to see an ult fiesta. An ult fiesta.
I'm not gonna say it's a mistake necessarily just yet, but I don't know. You gotta feel a little worried now for TEKIXD as there's 40 seconds left to go. Ultimates on both sides.
Yeah, this is going to be a who gets the most value with these ultimates check here. This is going to be roll your dice, roll the D20. Who lands it? Who gets a critical success? Because it is dicey now. There goes that throw from Tap. Not able to find much just yet. Very close to last stand. I have Agamotto ready, but you know it will be matched with some strategist line ultimates. No ultimates being committed. Fidel sees the tackle there and immediately going to pop out that bond. Dongman.
Is it big? Is it big? Ah, it's not big, Chad. It's not big.
Done. No, they cannot. Out goes the Kraken. Impact lands, but still nobody falls as there is a strat line. Oh, good tackle away there on Dongmin. Dongmin very low, able to escape slightly. And there goes Doom, still holding on to that Galactic Legend until this is done. Not going to buy some time here. Impunity, use that cap ult to keep the team healthy, but Ad finds Vision. The res will come up.
Oh, no. Wait, no. I don't think they're bringing it back, Chad. I don't even think he's going to... Wait, Vision res himself. Vision got a fucking 4-man res.
Back as well. Any eliminations for the side of Shroud X is huge, but that's everybody.
That's big, bro. That's big.
2 ticks given. Last stands here from Tap. Can it match Dongman with his eye Agamotto?
Oh, fat fucking eye by Dr. Dong. No way. There's no way they're about to chat. They reverse swept. They fucking reverse swept. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Dr. Dong, bro.
Finally.
Dr. Dong.
Done with that. And, you know, for Techie, oh, man, I just don't think
oh
that
my
god. Know, it's bad when the Vision didn't have to use the team-wide res the whole time. Like, it was only one.
They still have to cap.
Listen. So,
Listen.
I just feel like you're getting mismatched a little bit in this
game's over, chat.
offensive side.
Game's over.
You know,
Shroud X won.
Like for this team, Tap was doing so much.
Shroud
on
X won.
Avery was doing a lot on Bucky when he was not against Triple, and he was against that Namor. Now that we've gone against Triple, it feels like Avery, whenever he was on Human Torch, he did a lot. Whenever they could play Punisher, they're doing a lot. But right now, Teki just does not have the answer to Shroud X. Now, it's still possible on defense, right? We've seen Shroud X get in tough situations like this. That's why we say Shroud X is one of the most exciting teams to watch in North America.
Dr. Dong.
It's, you know, good for their
that was a big
fans,
res from Vision, though. That Vision res. Chat.
Yeah, and this is one of those clutch
Chef
moments.
kiss.
We've seen them clutch up
Chef
yesterday. Can they do it again?
kiss.
They need to shine here. They need to be confident. They're playing very confidently. You can see that momentum shift. We talk about momentum all the time. It is very clearly on the side of Shroud X, but you gotta quickly say, Vision, what a res of the team. Way to play patiently, give those ticks up. You don't need to rush in one by one. They retook as a team. Dongman hit an insane ultimate on the backline strategist. Yes, the last stand came out and found some value, but still was returned again by Dongman, taking out that Wolverine, and they just took over the point, electing to use that teleport early to try to make a play happen and own this high ground.
Here's that portal coming on through. And on this flank, they get that high ground first. 4 minutes left to go. Portal no longer available until the very end, as that is a 160-second cooldown. Teki, how do they find this opening pick?
At this point, I think we see somebody coming from an off angle, just waiting.
3 supports isn't impressive. Why is Jay glazing so hard?
From that right side,
bro,
Doomed is gonna start
you know how many?
and here it goes.
All
Just
Teki needs to do is ban one of the characters from the res comp, and they can't run that comp. What do you mean it's not impressive? If anyone's gonna get mad, it's Teki for having bad bans.
Switch, wait for the team to hold your defensive position, but Avery finds Doomed early, does have that res up. Team gonna play a little bit slower now, trying to find a way. Tap already has eyes on, ready to retake that fight. Is Doomed will be in kind of a tough spot. Is he doomed? No. Does come back here as we do see the Eternal Bond once again leading off this fight. Impunity running right at the strategist.
Oh shit, GG's chat.
Down goes two, but
I think GG's.
From Brute, the res coming right back.
GG's.
Right on top of that ultimate, and this is looking heavy. If you want to bounce back, Teki's in a dangerous position.
GG's.
Dongman onto Brute, Impunity onto Avery. Can they end this?
GG's
now?
chat.
The teleport will come through, and there goes the dance of the Cutterfly. Doesn't get much. Stalls, the teleport's in. Can they hold on? So close to winning it. They are at the very end now. They need to find value with these ults. Brute has
Dr. Dong?
and it does find one. Can they keep this going? But that is.
Oh my god, it's at 61.33% out of 64%.
By Teki on the patience.
Well done by Teki indeed, but they're born again by Visions. He brings them back into the fight, and they also use Resurgence. Doomed just while sitting with the ultimate versus Brute once again.
Impunity going to come back from that res as well. The team is going to be reset, and now it's all about patience, and this is huge. Doom needs to find value. Out goes the Meteor M to counter. Way to hold on to that.
Blur popping off. Oh, good freeze by fucking the supports. Avery.
What a freeze from Avery.
Wait, they're popping ults still. They're popping ults.
Oh my goodness, this is insane. Fidel committed ultimate there too. Nuck, they are down numbers. Do not have that res. No ultimates available here. Besides Clutchman, can he hit that Eye of Agamotto? We'll find out shortly. Woofles finds Fidel though, and again Teki with an insane retake.
Oh my god, what a fucking hold, chat. What a hold. What a hold. Teki with the last 3% percentage hold.
Can you get it done? I mean, both teams.
Oh my god, the last minute and 15 seconds, chat. The last 75 seconds of this series.
Seconds left to go. Eye of Agamotto ready to go, and last stand available again from Tap.
You gotta stay calm in this moment. This is so stressful, and if you start to panic, it will be reflected in the gameplay. Trying to build up those strat ultimates quickly as Nuck throws out that Dagger Storm just to stand inside of it. Dongman gonna take some of that damage. Just have this Eye. It's all about this Eye of Agamotto now on the back line. They do have Ad ready with the Eternal Bond, and that will counter a ton. But it's all about, can you force that out early without committing too much? Teki heavily up in ult advantage here. You almost want to play aggressive because you will have that teleport left. Now the timer is finally committed as they use it at 340.
Oh my god, Dr. Dong got his ult stunned. Dr. Dong just got his ult stunned by Avery.
What a play. Vision now going to get countered out, going right back through that Invis shield. Good play, and oh my goodness, can TEKIXD do this?
Impunity got a kill though on the support.
Is important. There goes the last stand on the back line, and that's huge for Tap as they find 2 more.
No fucking way.
Teleport now.
No fucking way.
All about this teleport. Dongman Where is he right now? I mean, they have to touch at least to create overtime. Doomed has last stand ready to go, but Avakamoto on this retouch is here.
You got to try to get these ults. Fidel very close. Doom does have last stand. They are going to have Whipple's. Avery now also has the dance floor. The team switching up composition.
Wait, he went through the portal and stunned them at their spawn.
Looking really clean. Teki is just battling here. Everything against the wall. Can they hold on? We will find out as this is so back and forth. Out goes the invisible boundary.
Oh my god, bro. This chat, my heart can't take this. I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. No! No, my god, my heart can't take this. They reversed it. They fucking reversed it.
But it looks like they will take this. Shroud X.
I told you guys it was over. Don't you ever disrespect me in my chat again. I told you guys the game was over. We didn't even need to play offense. We didn't even need to play offense.
I mean, what a series.
Are you kidding me? That might have been the closest game of Marvel Rivals in history.
That's insane. That was one of the most insane
so
fucking series we've seen today.
Oh my god, this is why we do it, man. This is why you watch. Anybody watching the stream, everybody tuning in just for the magic skin, staying for the amazing gameplay, because holy crap, I mean, we need a shower after that one. Every player is probably greased to their mother and back, you know, which is a good thing because that was such a banger. Avery with the role swap with the MVP and SVP at the end.
Was
10K looking like
fantastic
the triple double stats, almost
game.
triple 10,000 stats.
That was a fantastic game. I feel so bad for TEKIXD. To be honest with you, I feel like if they played five of these, like, if they played 5 games of back-to-back again, a best of 5s, I'm pretty sure it would be very close, very even.
I am just shook.
That's a great series, chat.
That was way closer than it needed to be.
We gotta coach this one after Shib, honestly.